Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I am your host, Monkey. I know Jack was awake, but he's probably fallen asleep or like has real life shit to do. So hopefully he'll be around. But for now, it's just me and Biden and Kamala. How lucky are you guys? Fuck, man. I went to sleep last night and I had trouble getting to sleep. I was tired as hell, but I finally fell asleep probably around 8 o'clock. And I woke up and picked up my phone and said 4:30. I was like, oh, time to make the donuts. And I already knew what I was going to be talking about because both of the main stories we'll be discussing blew up right before I went to sleep. And so I was like, I hate my job some days. That's not true. I love my fucking job, but there are parts of it that make me just go, fuck. I don't want to do this. I really don't want to do this. But we're going to. The part I really don't want to do is watching more Kamala. She gave her closing argument up on the ellipse there, where Donald Trump gave his very divisive, violent speech. And it was something. It was something to see. But before we get to that, we're going to talk about the main story, because old Biden's stutters really got him into trouble this time. That damn stutter of his, it has caused so much problems for him in life. He's been fighting with it his whole life, and now it has caused him to call Americans, or at least half of us, garbage. That's right. CNN tells us that it's a stutter. We're gonna back things up. We're gonna take this in the way that I experienced it, because I am so egocentric. That's how I need you guys to experience it. Actually, it's instructive, is why I want to do it this way. The short story is, yes, Joe Biden absolutely did call Trump supporters garbage. There's no doubt about that. You'll hear some bullshit. Seriously, CNN came out and, yeah, that's it. All I heard was his stutter. Get fucked. Anyway, this starts blowing up. So I finished the stream yesterday, jump onto Twitter for a few minutes, because I always wind down after a show a bit. And I see this going around that Joe Biden has called Trump supporters garbage. And what he says was, the only garbage I see are his supporters. That was the exact line. And I can believe that. But then the usual shit started. Good morning, Nuts. How are you, sweetie? The usual shit started, right? Where, like, that's not what he said. And there's a tweet that I'd like to show you guys. And if I had thought about it, I would have screen capped it. But it was somebody saying, hey, if you're going to tell this story, I feel like you need to add context. Give the whole context. And I was like, what the fuck could be the context for that? And they put a little clip, and we're going to look at that little clip. Unfortunately, we have to look at this on the archive site because Politico has since changed this story. But this is how they originally tweeted it out. Or sorry, this is the story they originally put out, and that was tweeted at those of us going, yeah, he probably shouldn't call people garbage. He's the president of the United States. President Joe Biden rallied Latino voters Tuesday night and delivered a stinging rebuke of the racist rhetoric aimed at Puerto Rico during Donald Trump's weekend rally. There was no racism directed at Puerto Rico, but they have to tell that lie. Nobody said anybody was bad because they were Hispanic. Once again, even the media was writing about the garbage problem in Puerto Rico. Not the people, the literal garbage problem. They can't get rid of it. They're having a trash issue. They don't have anywhere to put it. They don't have anybody collecting it because there's nowhere to collect and put it. There is a garbage problem. But anyway, a comedian who appeared ahead of Trump at Madison Square Garden in New York City on Sunday called the American territory an island of garbage. Well, true. He said that he was referencing two different stories there, there are floating islands of garbage out there because people keep dumping their trash in the ocean and it's congealing together. And then he made the joke that it's called Puerto Rico because of the news stories about the trash there. Biden in a Zoom call with the organization Voto Latino. It's a very liberal leftist I don't know if they're technically a 501 or any of those 503 or any of that shit. But they are a leftist political organization aimed at Hispanic people. Anyway, Biden in a Zoom call with the organization Voto Latino said the only garbage was the hatred of Trump supporters who said things about American citizens. Now, that's the quote that was sent in the now deleted tweet that I was talking about. And this is a very instructive moment. I often give you guys pointers to where you can look and see the press is lying to you. Now, I want to remind you, this comes out after everyone has started talking about it. The quote is already out there. But look at how Jonathan Lemire, I don't know if that's supposed to be French, Lemire, I don't fucking care. But Jonathan here, he's like, oh, what he said, the only garbage was the hatred. And if you pay attention to your screen right now, you'll see quotation marks around the only garbage and hatred, giving the impression that maybe Biden put some other stuff in there, but what he was talking about with the hatred of the right, those damn Trump supporters and their hatred. It's their hatred that's garbage. He said that's not it. Dark Resurrect, thank you for that. Feminist $12. Taking bets on the media, running with this like they did Trump's vermin comment. Oh, hell no. They're already in deep defense mode. And we'll get to some of that later. I mean, literally, CNN, like, it's a stutter. They can get fucked. I thought it was weird that there's an actual quote out there of what Joe Biden said, but this was the rebuttal. This was the no. You guys need to, and it's got less words quoted than the original. Normally, we see this kind of bullshit when they're trying to take Trump out of context. You know, they'll say Donald Trump said women, and then they'll put a new quote in there, suck ass, and the two aren't even from the same speech. One time Trump said something sucks ass, and one time he mentioned the word women, and like, see, he said women suck ass. But they do it the other way too to try to make Democrats look better. That's what happened here. Instead of giving the whole quote, they blatantly fucking lie about it. Blatantly fucking lie. Now, they have come to their senses because this is the updated story about this. Here it is. This report, this is at the bottom of your screen there. This report was updated to correct Joe Biden's quote. Well, you didn't do a Joe Biden quote the first time. You quoted two different things that he said that had nothing to do with each other. It was to correct his vote. You mean you corrected your fucking lie? Your blatant lie? Hey, P-Dog, how you doing, bud? Remember, guys, if you're not watching P-Dog Night live, then you are missing out. Mondays through Fridays on P-Dog Night's channel. It's at 10 a.m. Eastern time, you guys. 10 a.m. He lives in one of those weird time zones, so he'll tell you his times. Don't listen. It's just 10 a.m. Anyhow, the only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters, and you'll notice here that they put an apostrophe S. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. And they start this as though that is the beginning of the sentence, that's the beginning of the whole. It's not. We're going to watch the whole thing in a second, and you'll see what I'm talking about if you haven't seen this yet. But in this case, the only garbage I see out there is his supporters, possessive. His demonization of Latinos is unconscionable, and it's un-American. I just want to point out to you, the President of the United States just called half the country garbage and somebody else un-American for a joke. I'm still surprised this close Republicans aren't trying to contest. She took the presidential slot. Isn't there some legal precedent they have skipped? Not really, no. I mean, legally, they don't even have to have a vote to decide who's going to run for office. The Supreme Court has decided long ago that the political parties are just corporations free to run their businesses however they want to run their businesses. And there's not a whole lot of reason to point it out. I mean, we all saw what happened, and the people who are voting against Kamala aren't most. I don't know anybody who's really doing it because, oh my God, I really did want Joe to be the one. You know what I mean? It should be brought up and made fun of because we believe in democracy. But otherwise, it's mostly meaningless, honestly, Snub. We saw this a lot of people learned for the first time in 2016 with Bernie Sanders and the super delegates. Remember the super delegates? Super delegates were put in place by the Democratic Party specifically so if somebody won their open primary, the actual primary, they could override it. It's the only reason they existed. Anyway, all right. A White House spokesperson. Oh, I want to go back to that other one. Yeah, because we gotta. There's another clue here. Before we get to the new White House spokesperson stuff, a White House spokesperson said Biden was talking about the intolerance of Tony Hinchcliffe. That was the comedian who made the joke. Oh, I probably could have just waited to read the rest of that. I'm just used to the news leaving shit out, so occasionally I say stuff like that. But do you see that? A White House spokesperson said Biden was talking about the intolerance of Tony. Why would you even, if what he said was that the only garbage he saw was the hatred of the Trump supporters, why would you need to clarify that with the White House? And why would they have to clarify with you and tell you that they were talking about the intolerance of Tony, however you say his last name? Do you see the clues that are right there in your face that this article's full of shit? There's no reason to go ask the White House, hey, when he said that the garbage was hatred, was he saying that it was hatred? But it was just a mistake. When we did the update, we updated it because we mistakenly misquoted old Biden there. Our press is garbage. And yes, I mean all of them. They are trash. All of them have an agenda and all of them will lie to you for their own fucking purpose. A White House transcript of Biden's remarks includes an apostrophe in the word supporters. But a member of Trump's advocates accused Biden of saying supporters without the apostrophe, which would make it a condemnation of a broad swath of Republicans. Our diversity is our strength, said Biden. Unless you're one of those garbage people. Who also blasted Trump's proposal to deport migrants, many of whom are Latino. Do you remember when they used to tell us, hey, they're not all Mexicans? They don't do that anymore because they gotta be like, no, they're all Mexicans because he hates the Mexicans. Sorry, Latino. I do know there's a difference between Mexicans and Latinos. I just don't care. All right, so we've talked about it enough. Let's see Joe Biden actually say this, shall we?
The Puerto Rican that I know, or Puerto Rico, where I'm in my home state of Delaware.
The Puerto Rico in my home state of Delaware. He just said those words. Apparently, there's a Puerto Rico in Delaware. I'm not saying there's not. I mean, there's different cities named after states and stuff, right? So maybe there is a Puerto Rico, Delaware. It's where he got his Puerto Rican upbringing. Remember, he told us about that. When he was growing up, all the Puerto Ricans in Delaware led him to have Puerto Rican political values. I still can't believe he said that. And that the press did not make fun of him endlessly for it. Can you imagine if Donald Trump came out and said that he was raised politically Puerto Rican? These motherfuckers would be like, I can't believe he's so racist against Puerto Ricans. All right, so Joe's telling us about Puerto Rico and Delaware.
They're good, decent, honorable people.
Not like those Americans that I hate. The Puerto Ricans in Puerto Rico, Delaware, they're great people. Jesus fucking Christ.
The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. His demonization of seen as unconscionable.
There you go, guys. Did that sound like an apostrophe to you? Here, let's run it back.
The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. His demonization of seen as unconscionable.
Anybody hear that? Anybody hear the hidden apostrophe? Maybe the apostrophe's in the penumbra. Anybody hear stutter? Anybody hear him? No, he's changing to a new sentence because he realized in that moment, oh shit, I just said that out loud. He's not very cogent very often. I'm going to keep using the word cogent just because it's funny to me that that idiot Joe Scarborough tried that shit. But there are moments where he's like, oh shit. He did it at a speech earlier in the day. Believe it or not, they are still sending him out there. He was at some port somewhere where he was defending Puerto Ricans again. He's very Puerto Rican pro right now. And he actually said, I don't understand what it means, but that he wanted to take that comedian out into the water. And I don't know if he wants to make love to him or what, but he said it and everybody giggles. And then he said, my handlers want me to bring it back a little bit. They don't want, oh, Joe, don't get crazy out there. I'm barely paraphrasing. But it was like 2 hours later that he did this. So he goes from, I want to go swimming with the guy I think is a racist, I guess, and to, yeah, half of America is garbage. And the press is dutifully doing their bullshit. He didn't say that. What? They're taking him out of context. There was an apostrophe. I heard it. Fuck you, you lying shitbags. Nuts says he wants to show him his floating leg hair. Yeah, he wants to learn more about roaches. That's what. Good catch there, Nuts. Yeah, I hadn't considered that. It was just weird because you can go out there and look it up, and there's people treating it like it's this major clapback that he wants to take the guy into the. Maybe he meant kill him, which probably not good for a president to be talking about. Maybe he wanted to Dexter his ass and cut him up and drop him overboard in trash bags. I don't know. This is a party of love, so I just assumed Joe wanted to go out there and have Tony, put it in his butt so that they could be all about the love. So anyway, look, does anybody deny the fact that Democrats think anybody, not just Trump supporters, anybody who disagrees with them is trash? That they're garbage? That we're lower than I've been called subhuman, guys. Literally called subhuman, but don't worry. I don't think you're less than human. Jack Roseback, thank you for that feminist $12. Okay, I'm just trying to get all of these titles in order. Are we deplorables? Any combination ending in ist or phobe, Nazis or garbage? Please, this is important for my tax filings. Well played, Dark. Oh, fuck. This is a true deplorable. You know what the funny part is? Remember the tweet that I told you that started me down this whole fucking rabbit hole of this nonsense? One of the responses to this, hey, you guys are taking them out of context bullshit, was them trying to manufacture a deplorable moment is so weak. Nobody's manufacturing shit on our side. It's the press. It's Joe Biden. In fact, this video that we're watching right now was posted in response to Biden on Twitter. Well, whoever runs Biden's Twitter account. Earlier today, I referred to the hateful rhetoric about Puerto Rico. No, you didn't. You referred to Americans, sir. Hateful rhetoric about Puerto Rico spewed by Trump supporters at his Madison Square Garden rally as garbage. No, that's not what you did. It's on video. We watched it. Which is the only word I can think to describe it. His demonization of Latinos is unconscionable. Anybody think he can say the word unconscionable? That's all I meant to say. The comments at that rally don't reflect who we are as a nation. All right, let's back up. His demonization of Latinos is unconscionable. That's all I meant to say. Okay. You think so much that we are garbage that you couldn't stop yourself from accidentally saying. You realize that that's what you're saying here, right? That look, I realize I called y'all trash, but what I meant to say was something different so that you didn't get mad at me. And I just couldn't help myself. I believe you're garbage so much that it seeps into my speeches accidentally. And Frank, and in fairness, this wasn't a speech, this was a Zoom call with a political organization. You accidentally called us garbage. That doesn't make it better. Doesn't make it better, dumbass. And in all honesty, I don't care that Biden thinks we're trash. I don't think an American president should be calling Americans trash like that. I can do it. I'm a fucking commenter from my basement in YouTube on YouTube. So who gives a shit what I say? This is the president of the United States calling half of America. Hillary wasn't even president when she pulled her deplorables line. She just wanted to be president. But I don't really care in the sense that I just assume Biden says or meant this because he's come very close to saying it before. Oh my goodness, I just burped in my mic. I'm so sorry, guys. Fuck. Now I'm just a YouTuber. Anyway, I expect that they think that, but you don't say that as president. Joe is clearly a uniter, right? Yeah, this is the problem. So he loves the rhetoric about, hey, let's bring it together. We're more united than we are divided. And generally speaking, for Americans, that's true, but it's not true when you're talking about your political nonsense like this. And Kamala just had, did you guys see her closing argument? We're going to watch, don't worry, not all of it. Not all of it. But we are going to watch some of it. Even though she goes the whole Biden route of trying to have it both ways, of being hateful to half the country, like we're all just one. The Kamala campaign this last week has really been pushing an end to like hateful rhetoric and stuff. We just had Tim Walz the other day come out and say, we need to get away from this, the insults in politics, after he accidentally called himself a dipshit, which, by the way, he's 100% a dipshit. In case the news is listening and going to write about this, there's no apostrophe in my comment that Tim Walz is a dipshit. I'm not saying that his rhetoric is dipshittery, dipshitted. He's just a dipshit. He is a dumb motherfucker. But they're trying to push this whole thing and have it both ways. And the press finally has their moment. They think they've got this in the bag now because did you see the racist Trump rally where they called Puerto Rico garbage? And here comes Joe Biden. Here comes Joe Biden to call half of America garbage. I don't know why they're letting this guy speak. He is not all there. The things that his normal political mind would keep him from saying out loud, those barriers are not in place anymore because the man has dementia. So what he would normally self-censor, he's like, how I can't keep myself. I said apostrophe. They're literally the White House's excuse. They released an official transcript of this. And how do we know? Because CNN told us. We're going to let CNN do the hard work on this one. Now, this is not the video that I was talking about. This is from the same show, but this is not the video where they say it's his stutter. But Abby Phillip, we just saw her kick a guy off her show. And CNN, by the way, kicked that dude completely off their network. The guy who said Mehdi Hasan said to Mehdi Hasan, I hope your pager doesn't go off. The fact that he's a Polish guy that Mehdi Hasan was calling a Nazi, that's fine. Did you guys see the ADL on that? So the ADL comes out and defends Mehdi Hasan because it is not okay to suggest anybody is a terrorist. In today's climate, that could have some real violent consequences. You mean from the terrorists? And a bunch of people pointed out to the guy running the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League, the Jewish group, that Mehdi Hasan was calling a Polish guy a Nazi. And so they had to come out, and the guy who runs the ADL, he issues a second post, leaving the first one up, where he's like, it's really not cool to be calling people Nazis. It diminishes the... It was so fucking funny. He's like, dude, you can at least take down the first one, where whether you think what the guy said to Mehdi Hassan, saying, I hope your pager doesn't go off, or whatever the exact wording was, he was making a joke about Mehdi Hassan being a terrorist. That's what the joke was. It's fine. But you can at least take the defense of Mehdi down, considering it was a response to him being insulting. It's okay to call somebody a Nazi, but how dare you call somebody a terrorist? Like, okay, whatever. I don't know why they're upset about it. I mean, reportedly that the Jews were being racist there themselves, because a couple of people who got burns and body parts blown off weren't the terrorists. I mean, it was totally horrible. I still think that shit was funny. The Israelis actually made the terrorists over there more prehistoric. Like, we can't use technology. He's turning them into the fucking Unabomber. Anyway, so this is how CNN tells this story. This is Abby Phillips. Sorry, Philip. Put an S on there like a normal person.
Tonight, there's new reporting about
I had an apostrophe.
Joe Biden and a moment that explains why things are the way that they are.
That's the whole reason we're watching this clip, that, and I'm too lazy to pull up the quote from the White House. Actually, I don't know if this one has a quote from the White House. We might be watching this for no reason except for this. Did you hear what she just said? Let's run that back.
Tonight, there's new reporting about Joe Biden and a moment that explains why things are the way that they are.
There's new reporting about a moment Joe Biden had that explains why things are the way they are. Now, I will let you know that in the rest of this minute and 24-second clip, she does not explain what that means. I'm going to let you guys guess, because honestly, I'm not being a smart ass here. I, honest to God, don't know what she means here. What about Biden calling everybody garbage? Now, okay, you know what? I just don't think CNN means it this way. Now that I've given it 2 seconds of thought, I do think Trump, under normal circumstances, would not stand a chance in hell of winning this election. Under normal circumstances. But the absolute disdain that the left has for anybody who disagrees with them, and the way they vilify and demonize them, I could see that argument being that's why that Kamala's losing so badly. Sorry, she's not losing. That Trump is tied with Kamala. I can see that. I can see that. That it's the hateful rhetoric coming from the left that has pushed people to Trump. I voted for Trump. You guys have heard me talk many, many times about how I do not vote for major party candidates. I've had big arguments with some of you over the way I vote. And then they pulled that lawfare nonsense. And that cannot be allowed. It just can't be. So yeah, the hatefulness from the left absolutely shows why we are where we are. I just don't think that's how Abby, oh my God, he called him a terrorist, Philip here sees it. So anyway, does she have the actual White House statement? Let me see.
Joining us now, Franklin Leonard.
No, hang on. Yeah, she doesn't have it in there. I think she puts up Biden's thing. The White House's excuse was, yeah, there was an apostrophe. It's literally what we read over here on the Can I just point to this again? I'm sorry. I get distracted so easily. So here's the updated Politico article that we looked at. And they still don't quote everything. They could have just put in the full White House statement, but they don't do that either. They're so fucking dirty. And now we're going to have to listen to a couple of days of people telling me that my ears lied to me. My ears just can't pick up. I got like dog hearing, and dogs can't hear the sound of apostrophes. Anyhow, yeah, we watched the full video, so I don't really have much else to say on that other than, hey, Joe, please keep talking, because every time you do, you break the news cycle. They had their moment, you guys. They had it. He called, not Trump. Did you see the guy from Puerto Rico? Let me bring that one up. So the head of the GOP in Puerto Rico has come out and said, I'm not voting for Trump unless he personally apologizes for the comments made at his rally. That's fine. I don't really give a shit if you do or not. The problem is, even in the story, the story about this, let me pull this up on the screen there. This button. You guys might be thinking, wait. Didn't you tell me yesterday or the day before that Puerto Ricans don't get a vote? Yes, I did. And it's true. Puerto Rico GOP leader won't vote for Trump unless he apologizes for comedian's remark. Puerto Rico's GOP chair, Angel Citron, I don't know. How do you pronounce angel in Spanish? Angeles. Says he will not vote for Donald Trump in Puerto Rico's symbolic presidential poll on election day. It's literally a fake vote. Puerto Rico decided to have a fake vote on it. That's what they're wasting their money on. They have actual election stuff going on too. But they're like, what we need to do is give our opinion that doesn't fucking matter. They're wasting ink on this shit. Can't believe anybody would call them corrupt. But the Hill blasts out, the GOP Puerto Rico guy will not vote for Trump unless he can't vote for Trump. This is a meaningless fucking vote. But it gets headlines, don't it? They had their moment, guys. Donald, look, even the Puerto Ricans are mad at him. Even the Puerto Ricans hate him. Except now. Joe, please keep talking. It's always good hearing from you. It's fucking weird that you're the president of the United States, and I get it. You guys made a deal with Kamala that she wouldn't 25th you if you dropped out of the election, but goddamn, you're an idiot. What's up, Jack?
Yeah, how's it going?
Oh, wonderful, my friend. Very good. Very good. I'm having fun laughing at Biden and the media response. Honestly, guys, again, I know Joe Biden thinks I'm garbage. I know Democrats think anybody who isn't in lockstep with them wants to kill women and apparently throw trash at Puerto Ricans. I'm not shocked by Joe Biden saying this because I think he honestly believes it. But watch how the press lies for him.
As a garbage human who does not float, I am a little insulted that all of you can float, but we all float down here, I guess.
I learned how to float way back when I was like 8.
See, I met this one dude, Penny something or other. He said that he could make me float, but I had to get the sewer, and that's icky, so I didn't do it.
Over on the Streamlabs, thank you so much. Okay, I'll address it after I read this. Okay, it's taking a minute to load, so I'll just go ahead and do it. Guys, I do see all of the stuff about weird election things, and I appreciate you pointing them out. But just for the record, a lot of it we won't be able to talk too much about because we're on YouTube, and frankly, a lot of stuff that's out there is kind of questionable too. I'm not saying what you said is questionable here, Tyrai, but thank you, Tyrai. York County, Pennsylvania has also flagged potential election anomalies between voter applications and mail-in ballots. The county is next to Lancaster County, which has flagged voter applications. I just put the article in Monkey in the Morning. Well, thank you so much, and I will check it out. All of this stuff needs collected, and everybody needs to be paying attention to it. When We also are seeing right now, Jack, and this is on video, them shutting down voter lines. There was one earlier today where they shut down the voting line at 1:45. Voting wasn't supposed to end till 4:30. And the cop who shut it down said, and I quote, "The process is a grueling process, so they have to shut it down."
Oh, it's slow and grueling.
Slow and grueling.
Have you ever had a slow and grueling attempt at voting? Because that's
No.
fucking stupid. That was Quakertown, Pennsylvania, by the way.
Yes. Thank you. I when you said it, I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. Because I remember did you send that to me?
Probably. It also happened in Levittown and a few other places that I know I retweeted all this stuff because there's video of it. And that's the shocking part is they're so brazen about it. These cops are violating federal law. So I don't know what authority they think they have to kick people out of line, but they don't have that authority.
In this case, they didn't keep the one in Quakertown there. They didn't kick anybody out of line. They just ended the line. This is the end of the line. Nobody else can get in there. And the woman who's recording it talks to another woman at the end there. And that woman says that on the website, it said they could close it down at any time. And I don't know if that's true.
I don't see how that's legal, but what do I know? I'm just some asshole on the internet.
Well, because it's not election day.
Yeah,
on election day, they can't do this. On election day, they can't decide at 6 p.m. Even though you can vote till 8, no, you can't do it here. But a lot of people were voting in my area, Jack, who normally would not vote at my precinct are doing so because they consolidated.
Oh. Huh.
A lot of the election rules that you would normally have they're more lax, not the voting security, YouTube, but like where you would vote. Typically, if you're supposed to vote in site A and you go to site B, they'll go, you can't vote here. You got to go to site A. But now they're like, no, everybody just come to this place. The rules are not exactly the same for early voting as they are for election day voting, because democracy matters.
Yeah, they're very concerned about democracy, so they're having the cops move people along. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't like this at all. This looks really, really shady. But let me grab a couple of things here real quick. First of all, on the Cash App, thank you, Brandon, for the generous donations, as being the only Jack I like besides a fictional robot. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Thank you. And thank you, Dark Resurrect, for that feminist donation. Nothing to see here, citizen. Move along. Don't want to get sad, do you? Well, you don't want to get locked up for a misdemeanor like in January 6th nonsense.
Listen, this is why I'm a little bit hesitant to talk about anything before the election. I mean, the laws do matter, and things that can look like what we saw there in Quaker City, whatever it is, that may actually be legal. It looks dirty as shit, but it doesn't mean it's illegal.
If that's legal, they need to change the law because that's bullshit. Nobody should be turned away until the polls are supposed to close, short of a catastrophic emergency, which I guarantee you there wasn't. And if you want to build resentment against your local police, by all means, have them doing this because you are going to make people hate the cops. Because who are they going to blame when they get thrown out or turned away? It's going to be the first government employee they see, which is going to be the cops. And I'm sure the cops could really use the hit to their reputation right now.
I just want to know. Look, I know some voting can be slow because apparently people are confused by ballots, but the grueling part is the one that got me in that video.
Yeah, like what, does he think we're all illiterate? Oh, it's a lot of work hitting that button. Oh my God.
My wrist got so sore filling in little circles because that's how we do it here, Jack.
Yeah.
By the time I filled out that, I think we had like 30 different things. I had to go to the doctor. I got carpal tunnel and broke 4 bones in my wrist from filling out little circles. It was a grueling process.
Wow. We have the electronic ones where you take the little stylus and press a button, like press the box you want. Man, I would rather have the little punch cards back. I miss those. Those were fun.
I do not trust voting screens.
I do not either. They do have it print out on the side though, so you can actually read it and verify it before you submit it.
And
So
that's
there is
fine.
a paper printout, but I still don't trust that shit. I want the punch cards back.
Yeah, like mine, we don't have the punch cards. Like I said, we fill in. I could
miss
go for
those.
punch cards, but we had that whole pregnant Chad thing.
Oh yeah. What we need to do is paper ballots with thumbprints on them. Just like we did in Afghanistan for those people. You got purple ink on your thumb and you put your thumb on the ballot so that they could trace it and make sure there was only one. It's sad when other elections in shithole countries were more secure than ours.
Dude, we can't even agree on making sure people use ID.
Yeah, I have to show ID to vote. I live in Ohio.
We have to show it here, but there's several. I mean, California's like, just show up. We'll take your vote. Anyway, Jack, do you want to say anything else about Garbage Man? Because you weren't here for most of that discussion.
That was just, I think he's trying to tank Kamala, but subconsciously maybe, but that was just one of them old man statements. He just does not give a fuck. So yeah, I think it was a really stupid thing to do. It's been making the rounds, especially after she gave her stupid ass speech. Oh, I'm a unifier. Shut up. No, you're not. You just called us all Nazis 2 days ago. What are you talking about?
She's
Now you're going to
okay with
represent
that.
Nazis?
I'm glad you brought that up, Jack, because we are going to watch some of it. Don't worry, guys. We watched
Christ.
way too much of Kamala earlier. I'm
That's what I
not
get
even
for
so
being
much
late.
interested in what she has to say here, although this is the beginning of her speech, so I'll probably get very wordy because she just spends the first like 5 minutes lying her ass off.
Oh, yeah. Oh, hang on. Let me grab a couple here before we get too far. Thank you, Tyree. Quakertown. I've been to the flea market out there. This is just super scary, especially as a Pennsylvanian. I took off from work on the 5th to get my vote in. I also saw ballot boxes lit on fire near Portland. Yeah, that was some free Gaza stuff. There's video and evidence now. New York Post has it, so does Post Millennial, about somebody is saying they're going to burn all the ballots. And apparently it's happened at 3 locations because they want to free Gaza. I don't know how that frees Gaza, especially when you're likely burning Harris ballots. But
Right?
that's what that appears to be about. Is I would say that's probably a pseudo-terrorist charge you're looking at for that. But I don't know. People are fucking crazy. But yeah, this thing in Pennsylvania makes me a little nervous about what they're doing. And also, thank you, Evolved Potato. Just imagine someone that's in crunch time at work and they don't have any other time other than 3 p.m. that day to vote. They were just disenfranchised. Well, that's the plan because Trump's doing pretty well in Pennsylvania. Because he was told...
The funny part about that is the whole reason for early voting is because that's their excuse on election day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Because he was told they'd be open longer, but they decided not to. Yeah, I think that's the goal, though, is like, oh, it's super busy. We're just going to close up. Maybe they took a look at the ballots when they're not supposed to. Who knows? But I think this is an attempt at disenfranchisement.
Yeah.
And the more they do that, the more people are going to resent it. Because, people aren't stupid. And especially if you took time out of your day to go down there, you're going to be pissed.
And I'm with Faithless. No, I voted early, but I voted in person at my precinct and I ran my ballot through the machine and all that. There is no fucking way I would put a ballot in a drop box.
Oh, God, no.
And not even because I think that, they won't count my vote, just sort through it and get rid of the... No, it's not that. It's... You could have some assholes do shit like has been reported. Yeah. Firebombing the ballot box.
And there was one report of a bunch of ballots falling out of the back of a vehicle.
Out of a truck. Yeah, we talked about it yesterday. And this is one that is not rumor or anything. This is verified by the election officials, by the police. A bag full of ballots and a box full of ballots fell out of the back of a fucking truck.
Yeah, I mean, those ballots were really sad, Monkey. They were really sad. Fucking A, man. It's not that I wouldn't necessarily trust the drop box because that's probably secure enough. It's the fact that I don't trust the incompetent retards that are supposed to be collecting them, and I don't trust any random idiot not to set it on fire.
Yes, exactly.
So it's outside forces and stupid and crazy people that I worry about. Shit, those things can get struck by lightning. I don't know. I don't like leaving mail in those things.
Look, I don't necessarily have a problem with early voting, Jack, but it's the way we're doing it that is nonsensical.
Yeah.
I have to put it in a drop box because I just can't drive to the clerk's office and drop it off. It's like half a mile further away.
Oh, it's super difficult. Look, I understand city traffic especially sucks balls. Like if you live in like San Francisco, that's probably a much more pain in the ass. Suck it up, Buttercup. Either vote on election day or just get used to it, because there's nothing wrong with having to drive the extra to make sure your vote counts. If you're going to the trouble of voting early, you should at least make sure that it counts.
Yeah. Please understand, both me and Jack, neither one of us here are saying that they're going to fuck with your vote. We're saying that they are insecure, and that is an issue.
Yeah, I have no knowledge of any nonsense going on, but it makes me suspicious, and there's too much chance of it happening. Well, and again, generalized incompetence is a serious problem.
We saw the one where the guy picking up the ballots left his car wide open and went in the building.
Yeah.
Then we get the report that they literally fell off the back of a truck. How much more do you guys have to see before you're like, maybe it's not as secure as they're telling us? And I realize our audience is on board with that, but the American people in general. I'm not saying get rid of early voting. I'm saying make it secure.
I'm saying maybe it's Maybelline.
Maybe it is. Metal Minister, yes, it did. I'm so sorry I got on a rant there. Thank you so much, Metal Minister, for that donation over there on the Streamlabs, guys. Don't forget, support us. I like to eat. Good morning, Monkey and Jack. Went to vote early yesterday, and when I reached the polling place, I was directed to a different location. However, at the place where Election Day voting is held was a Harris Wall sign in the window. Ooh, no, no, no.
Oh, you should take a picture of that.
You should absolutely take a picture of that and report it. That is illegal as fuck.
Yep, not surprising, but illegal.
You cannot have specific... Well, check your state, because a lot of them, Jack, it's within so far of the door.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's in that building, though, because that's bullshit. They shouldn't be allowed to do that in the building where you're going to vote.
Yeah, that should not happen.
I'm not surprised, because there's no consequence for these people. If they have the right political preference, they don't get in trouble. We've seen it time and time again. How many people were in trouble for the IRS scandal back under Obama? Nobody.
None.
At most, some people got talking to, maybe moved to a different office. No real punishment.
Metal Minister says he has it on video. Send that to somebody like Posobiec or Ian, not Ian Miles John. Fuck that guy. Andy No.
Yeah, Andy No will be real interested, I think.
Yep.
You should be able to find their emails if you don't want to send it on the X machine.
All right. I live in Lansing in 2020. Right outside the school I vote at was a guy with a Slotkin sign and was handing out Starbucks coffees. Again, you can do it if you're within a certain distance from the door. I think it's usually like 50 feet?
Something like that. 30 or 50. Depends on your state, I think.
All right. My interest in this Kamala rally, Jack, is not what she says. It's in the production value. Did you watch this thing?
Unfortunately, I saw most of it.
This shit is shot like a Hollywood movie.
Oh, yeah. Well, they've got a lot of Hollywood connections.
They're using 4K cameras. All of this up here is for different camera zooms and stuff. They're doing sweep by shots and shit. It's really weird to watch. But she's already been introduced, and the crowd, isn't it funny that this is her big moment? This is her closing argument, Jack. up on the ellipse, and she doesn't have even as many people that went to January 6th. And this is in DC, for fuck's sake. This is her home turf. FL, thank you. Voted for the first time this weekend. I'm 32. I know it's not much being in Texas, but every little bit, right? I want this to be a landslide. If you think Trump is winning, vote anyway. Because I want this woman to lose. I want her to be embarrassed.
I want it to be like 2016, where she doesn't even have a concession speech ready.
Oh, that would be so good.
Yeah, but I just think there's going to be so many shenanigans and attempts at shenanigans. Every vote's going to matter. So no matter how big your state is going to go for Trump, if you think that, do it anyway, because they've done so much shenanigans over the last couple of elections. Don't even take the chance. Just make sure you go out and vote for the candidate that is going to not put us spiraling into communism.
I guess we just got to hit play.
Well,
yay. Go ahead.
You go ahead.
Yay.
Good evening, everyone.
Look at this
Good
shit.
evening, and thank you for taking the time out of your busy.
They even made sure they had it set up so they could get lens flare and everything. Fuck. Typically, his speech is just, one stationary camera, maybe a couple, different angles, but this is like high production.
I'm going to drop out. I'll be back as soon as I can.
Cool.
Thank you, Tyrite. In 2020, I was helping to get signatures for libertarians during the primaries to get them on the ballot. There was a Republican rep with a pre-filled out ballot, and old ladies would ask him who to vote for. He would give them a pre-filled ballot for reference. Wow.
I mean, that is a normal process, unfortunately. As long as it's not the one they turn in, yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, still kind of shady. All right, I'll be back as soon as I can.
All right, Jack leaving means take care, but we're going to be watching even more of this than I planned to because I don't have much else planned. But anyway, I was just struck by the camera work in this. They're clearly shooting this for like some Kamala's victory kind of thing. Was this directed by Michael Bay? Thank you, Meadow Minister. I don't know. But as we listen, watch the camera.
Live.
This is so scripted. I was looking for applause signs because like when they just started chanting Kamala right there's no good reason to start doing it right there. Again, I mean, it's a mob and it's easy to whip a mob up into anything, but with this as produced as this is, I'm like, where's the applause signs? Because a lot of this applause doesn't seem natural.
Thank you.
Oh, there's a chick right down here. Oh my, I missed that before. She's can you guys even see her? I hate doing this. I wish I could put myself up in the upper right corner. No, I don't need to be that big. I don't need to be that small. That's the one I want. There's a chick right down in the bottom corner here.
Thank you.
Do you see her directing? I know it's really small on the screen, but yeah, she's directing everybody. I knew it. Fucking assholes. You even had to fake your people caring.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. So listen, 1 week from today, you will have the chance to make a decision that directly impacts your life, the life of your family, and the future of this country we love.
In a week, you get to vote. You don't need that many words to say it. What I also love is that I don't remember if you can see him real well, but right here, I think in some of the other shots you see even better, but This shiny thing right there and the shiny thing right there are her teleprompters. And she is very bad at not looking at them directly. She has to, like right now, she is clearly just staring right at this as she tells people they have to vote in a week. Which, by the way, Kamala, you said this on Monday, so it's a week and a day. Oh no, it was on Tuesday. So by the time you gave this, most people would be done voting. Cannot see your mouse pointer. Upper right, upper left. Why does sometimes it show my mouse pointer and other times not? That drives me nuts. There, now you can see it, right? I can see it on my screen. Right there is a teleprompter, and right here is a teleprompter. Underneath my monkey face. Anyhow.
And it will probably be the most important vote you ever cast. And this election is more than just a choice between two parties and two different candidates.
I mean, yeah, it's the choice of Donald Trump or all the shit you say about Donald Trump, because this is a party that is right now, and I think she even gets into it here. Donald Trump is going to lock up his political enemies. Didn't Bannon just get out of jail? Monk, did you see that Terry Garr died? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Terry Garr was in so much stuff when I was a kid, and then even later in life, she was still a bit acting here and there. She played Phoebe's mom on Friends, for anybody who doesn't know who she is and knows that show. But she was a staple. Her and like Martin, what's his name? I can see his face. He played Colonel Mustard in Clue. But they were in like everything. Everything those two were in when I was young.
It is a choice about whether we have a country rooted in freedom for every American or ruled by chaos and division.
Just like to remind you that before she said this, Donald Trump called you garbage. Or sorry, Joe Biden called you garbage if you support Donald Trump. No, not Martin Short. Fuck. Somebody look up who played Colonel Mustard in Clue.
Many of you watching.
Martin, what's his name? Is a strange name, or is that his real name? Or is that stage name, or is his real name? It's his real name. He was Jewish. Martin Mull. Thank you, guys. Martin Mull. Thank you. Thank you.
Have probably already cast your ballots.
A week from now, you'll get to cast your vote. Most of you probably voted already. They don't even see. This is the kind of logical thing that my brain picks up. They're like, I get what she's getting at, but what she said is actually stupid.
But I know many others are still considering who to vote for.
No, they're not.
Or whether you'll vote at all.
I don't think we are a week away from the election. Most people, the overwhelming majority, already know who they're voting for. Monkey, you don't know that? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I have yet to talk to one person. I talk to people constantly. Sure, most of them I'm making fun of at the time, but I've yet to see anybody that's like, I just don't know which way to go. I mean, even that Puerto Rican guy that we talked about who doesn't really have a vote, he's like, I'm not voting for Trump. Well, then I guess that means you're either sitting it out or you're voting for Kamala. Even he knows. Undecideds are rare. Yeah, usually by this point, this is why I tell you guys, polls don't really matter till about a month or two out. That's when they're really important, because by then most people have decided. There's going to be very little that happens. For all the talk about, and you're going to see, especially on right-wing sites, about Biden calling everybody garbage, it's not going to change anybody's mind. It's completely meaningless at this point.
So tonight, I will speak to everyone about the choice and the stakes in this election. Look, we know who Donald Trump is.
We do. You don't. You lie about him constantly. And you're about to launch into a whole litany of them right now. I've watched most of this already, guys. I cannot get over the production value of this thing. They are using 4K cameras and everything. This is a fucking political speech. We got to catch it in historic 4K.
He is the person who stood at this very spot nearly 4 years ago and sent an armed mob to the United States Capitol to overturn the will of the people in a free and fair election.
Everything that guy just said is bullshit. I need to get that on my soundboard. I never even use my soundboard, but I need to get that on my soundboard. Armed, yes, they always say armed. Well, they never say with guns. You can be armed if you're walking around with a baseball bat, technically. And remember, they hit people with flagpoles. So technically, they were armed with flagpoles. And he said, be peaceful. Or, yeah, she doesn't care about that part. She said, sent them armed down there. No, he didn't. Once again, I will remind you that the protest at the Capitol was not only planned, but permitted. They had permits for it. And it was people like Ray Epps who directed the folks leaving the ellipse to the wrong spot. They were supposed to be on the other side of the building. There was a place for the protesters. Donald Trump sent them. No, he didn't. It had already been planned that after all the speeches on the ellipse, that people were going to go protest.
An election that he knew he lost.
An election that he knew he lost. Nobody has yet provided any evidence that Donald Trump believes he lost the election. And that is important when you say things like, in that election he knew he lost. No. You can sit here and tell me all day that literally everyone that he talked to told him he lost. That doesn't mean. It's funny to me that this group of people who believes that folks can change their sex. Like, I'm a boy. No, you're not. I really am. You don't have a penis, but I'm a boy. They're all on board with that. They can believe that that delusion is real. But Donald Trump, who is an incredibly egotistical man, and there was some shenanigans that went on in 2020, they cannot imagine that he actually thought he won. Did you just meet Trump? Really? Anyway.
Americans died as a result of that attack.
Yeah, Ashley Babbitt, one of the people who works for you, shot and killed her. That she is the only one who died as a result of that attack. There was the fat chick who OD'd that the police just kind of let die. So there is that. Yeah, that's it. Those are the only two that we know of for a fact died that day. The only two that you can point to that. And in both cases, it was law enforcement that's responsible there. I mean, the drug overdose, she was probably going to die anyway. So I won't give them. They, at the very least, they were Floydian in their attempts to resuscitate her from a drug overdose. The fat chick got beaten by cops. I haven't seen evidence of that. I'll take your word for it. But when I first see her, they're trying to bring her up onto the stairs. She falls down. They're trying to get the police to take her, and then the police grab her and drag her away. If you got video of her getting beat by the police, I'm happy to see it, but it's not something I have seen.
140 law enforcement.
I shouldn't say I'm happy to see it because that sounds like I want to see a woman beaten to death by police. That came out wrong. I apologize. Wording does matter.
officers were injured because of
Wait,
that.
what?
100 Americans died as a result of that attack. 140 law enforcement officers were injured because of that attack.
What would have happened if they hadn't attacked first? Because we do know that's true now, that the crowd was being peaceful and the police officers attacked first. That's not a reason for the whole mob to turn and beat on cops all day, because some of that is pretty violent if you've seen the footage. At least she dropped the dead cops thing. Americans died. Cops got hurt. Well, I don't remember this part, so maybe she does go on to say that some of them died.
And while Donald Trump sat in the White House.
Oh my God, did fact checking finally get through to her? She didn't say cops died. That's actually new. She still kind of implies it, but doesn't actually say it. Huh.
Watching as the violence unfolded on television, he was told by his staff that the mob wanted to kill his own vice president.
And he said,
and Donald Trump responded with 2 words: so what?
There is no evidence of that. This comes from people who have made up lots of stories, like the chick who Donald Trump threw his spaghetti against the wall and beat Talia Shire. That's a Godfather joke. This comes from the kind of people who like Donald Trump reached across the driver and the beast and tried to go to the rally himself. Fucking lying bitch. I reached out to both Daniel Dale and Glenn Kessler. They are the fact checkers at CNN and the Washington Post, respectively, and asked them if they were going to be fact checking this shit. I even told them I'd give them $10 if they do.
America, that's who Donald Trump is.
No, it's not.
That's who is asking you to give him another 4 years in the Oval Office.
I do think it's kind of telling. We're a week away from the election. 7 days. God, I guess it is now Wednesday. So 6 days from now is voting day. And her end push is starting with January 6th. That's how bad their arguments against Trump are, that they have to go to January 6th. Not his time in office, not his policies, none of that shit. This is preaching to the choir. It is, and that's the weird part, because this is supposed to be, it's literally called Closing Argument Speech from Vice President Kamala Harris. This is on Kamala Harris's YouTube channel. This is her final appeal, which is weird to have your final appeal a week before the election. She's so lazy. She's got to get that 9 hours of sleep each night, right? She's giving her final appeal a week before the election, and she is giving a highly partisan speech. This isn't, she does get to a little bit of it later, but she's not starting out with, hey, here's what I'm going to do for America. It's almost an extension of every answer she's given in every interview. Donald Trump sucks. Okay. Why should anybody vote for you? Even if you tell me Donald Trump sucks, like, okay, that's a reason not to vote for him. But why would I give you my vote? And I realize that in American politics, a lot of voters think those are your only choices. So maybe that's what she's going with. QAnon shaman on video saying the president wants us to go home. I know. No. He was like, so what? So what? He was being such a petulant child. He was like, I hope they guillotine him. Like, sir, they brought a really small hangman's noose. Like, I hope they shoot him in the butt. It's nonsense. It's nonsense. And for the record, I am not above believing that Donald Trump can be petty. I know the man can be. But they take what pettiness he does have and try to push it into something else. They will try to tell you he's going to lock up all the people who disagree with him. She actually says that he's going to send the military after him. Do you guys remember Hillary Clinton, you guys know who she is, right? You've heard that name, right? Hillary Clinton ran against Donald Trump in 2016. And one of the chants that went on at pretty much every Trump rally was lock her up. Lock her up. Lock her. Do you remember when Donald Trump had Hillary Clinton arrested for breaking the law? Which she 100% did. There is no question that woman broke the law. Classified documents showed up on Anthony Weiner's computer. Anthony Weiner was married to whatever that fucking woman's name is, Hillary's lover. He was married to that lesbian, and she was Hillary's right-hand woman. And so somehow classified documents that Hillary had ended up on Anthony Weiner's computer. This isn't even the classified documents case against Trump or Biden. There is absolutely no excuse for how that happened. It was a blatant violation of the law. Remember how Trump locked her up for that? No, wait. Once the rhetoric died down and the election came and went and inauguration day comes, he's like, no, we let that go. He's totally going to shoot all of us this time. Logical Mail, thank you. Kamala's like the woman you are dating and you ask her to tell me about yourself. Instead, she can't stop talking about her ex-boyfriend. Yeah, up in chat just a moment ago, somebody mentioned that she sounds like a jilted ex. It's really weird.
Not to focus on your problems, but to focus on his. And Donald Trump has told us his priorities for a second term. He has an enemies list of people he intends to prosecute.
That is not true. That's not true. Somebody told her that her one little line was really good. He's got an enemy list. I've got a to-do list. She's about to pull that stupid line out. It would be a great line if it was true. It would be a wonderful line if it was true. It's just a really bad line because she had to make it up.
He says that one of his highest priorities is to set free the violent extremists who insulted those law enforcement officers on January 6th.
He said I feel like at best you're paraphrasing that. One of his highest priorities is to set free people who beat on wait. Kamala didn't. I feel like there's some relevance here about a politician who was desperate to set free people who were violent to police officers. Can't put my finger quite on it. Fuck.
Donald Trump intends to use the United States military against American citizens who simply disagree with him.
Wrong. That is not what he said. The funny part about this is she just talked about January 6th, right? Trump was asked about violence like January 6th happening again. And he said that won't happen from our side. And he was asked, well, what do you do if that kind of violence does happen? And he said, we'll use the National Guard if need be. And if need be, the military. Does that sound like, hey, if you disagree with me, I'm going to send the military after you? She's such a dirty fucking lying whore. Jesus.
People he calls, quote, the enemy from within. America,
you're not even getting your quotes right. This is like a fucking Politico quote. You just took two different things and put them together.
This is not a candidate for president who is thinking about how to make your life better. That's
why I steal his ideas. That's why I started Kamala against taxing tips. Because he did that to enrich himself where I want to do it for you guys. Christ, how fucking retarded do you have to be to fall for this? As hasn't said, well, Marxists are the enemy within. 100%, absolutely.
This is someone who is unstable,
No, he's not.
obsessed with revenge.
I love this line too. Obsessed with revenge. Everything that has been happening to Donald Trump, every negative thing that you've seen about this man since election night 2016 has been the left trying to get revenge. They impeached him over Clinton getting impeached. They've done nothing but spew hateful rhetoric because how dare he beat Hillary Clinton? The entire left is all about revenge against Donald Trump for taking their vagina in chief and keeping her from becoming president. How it was her turn. It was her turn. This motherfucker, we got to get him. You guys loved Donald Trump until he ran against her. Fuck you.
Consumed with grievance and out.
Consumed with grievance. We're like 3 minutes into your speech and all you've done is give your grievances, which is literally how you answer every fucking question asked of you. You were asked by Shannon Sharp, how will you keep Social Security solvent? How will you make sure it stays solvent? And your answer was, fuck Trump. The Democratic Party is nothing but grievance. This is like when they're like, the Republicans, all they got is fear, not like the love and excuse me. The love, I was doing my voice and my throat went to crack and I lost it. I hate when my body betrays me. Not like us. We're full of love and we're optimistic and we want the whole world to be shiny. It's them who push fear. And if you let them win, they're going to kill your babies and shoot your grandma in the face and take away your condoms and you can't masturbate anymore. They're going to throw your grandma in a hole. Donald Trump's going to shoot you if you disagree with it. It's so fucking funny watching it. And the fact that people listen to this and repeat it. Like the Republican, all they got is fear. Yeah. I actually listened to what you literally just told people that Donald Trump is going to send the military after them for disagreeing with him.
For unchecked power. Donald Trump has spent a decade trying to keep the American people divided and afraid of each other.
Donald Trump's the one doing that. Donald Trump's the one who just called half of America garbage, huh? Donald Trump, he's the one that hey, if you don't believe the bullshit they're telling you about COVID, I hope you die. That was him, right? Donald Trump's the one who, when Obama was president, if you questioned anything the man said, you were racist. That was Donald Trump, right? Fuck, man. They're so full of shit. It literally is projection. If the Democrats are telling you that the Republicans are doing it, it's them. It is the Democrats who do it. And a whole lot of stupid people. Yes, I'm calling him stupid. Are you calling Americans stupid? Yes, I am. A whole bunch of stupid people fall for it time after time after time after time. Because propaganda works, man.
That is who he is. But America, I am here tonight to say that is not who we are. That is not who we are.
Sure.
That is not who we are. You see, what Donald Trump has never understood is that e pluribus unum, out of many, one, isn't just a phrase on a dollar bill. It is a living truth.
All I see is his garbage supporters. Or the only garbage I see is his supporters. She literally is doing the Biden thing. I'm for unity. I want us all to unify with those horrible fucking Nazis. You guys, just spent the last 3 days calling Trump supporters Nazis because of a joke a comedian told. Because he had a rally at fucking Madison Square Garden. Like, these Nazis. You're not just calling Trump a Nazi when you're saying that the Madison Square Garden thing was a Nazi rally. You're calling all of his supporters Nazis too. And you're like, I want to rule for the Nazis. They don't even get that that's what they're saying half the time. Go ahead. Sorry. Hi, Jack. How are you?
Hi. Been worse. Been better.
I'm glad you're back. We're watching the Kamala speech, and I'm having more fun than I thought I would.
No, it broke you, huh?
I watched her on Shannon Sharp earlier, dude, and that was really hard to take. This one is a lot more fun. She just told us that she's for e pluribus unum. Fuck, I even fucked that up. I should not be streaming yet. Anyway,
Whatever.
She wants to rule for all people, you know, like those Nazis who support Trump. You know, it would be one thing if she did the Twitter meme, good morning to everybody except the Nazis. But no. I'm here for all Americans, even you fucking deplorable garbage Nazis. Sure, why not?
Yeah, whatever.
And they don't even get that that's what they're doing because they're not smart enough. They have people who are writing these speeches who are like, I know. We'll talk about how horrible they are, and we'll really drive that home. But we also need to make sure that we're preaching unity because people really like unity. Like, those don't go together because you end up supporting the racist, sexist Nazis that you keep calling us.
Well, they've been giving them billions of dollars over in Ukraine. Oh, well, not supposed to talk about that.
Hey, Kamala, what is it about Nazis that makes you want to be their leader? No, nothing to say there, huh? All right.
That's one of them. Their hate facts.
Time for me to wear my Hugo Boss outfits now. Stop it. That's a World War II joke, guys.
It is.
About the heart of our nation. Our democracy doesn't require us to agree on everything. In fact, we like good arguments from time to time. Just think of your own family, right?
The ones you're not.
I'm never talking to you again because you're a Nazi.
The left has been preaching family division over politics. I mean, it's all Trump's fault. She told us that a moment ago. But since at least 2015, one of my best videos that for some reason, apparently, Jack, people have been getting that recommended to them. The one, the BuzzFeed one, where that one crazy bitch is threatening to, you know, kill her parents if they vote for Trump.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that video has been getting a lot of traction lately for reasons I can't explain. But that goes all the way back. That was in 2016. But no, that fucking Donald Trump. Look, you guys have arguments with your family if you haven't killed them already.
Yeah. Oh, P-Dog might be onto something. He said she wants to rule all Americans whose accent she can fake. Or try to fake.
God, if she would come out and do a Hitler accent, that would... I want her to do Kyle's mom followed by a Hitler accent. That would be amazing.
I'm sure somebody's artificial intelligence is working on that right now.
It's not the American way to not have disagreements. We don't shy away from robust debate. In fact, we like a good debate, don't we? We like a good debate.
She's gonna laugh, isn't she? What is funny about we like a good debate?
I don't know. I don't know what's funny 99% of the times she laughs. It's just such a weird thing. Oh,
see,
real
guys,
quick.
I was just gonna say, this reinforces what I told you guys earlier. She doesn't have a nervous laughter. Her laughter, she uses it the exact same way that she uses her head nod. It is just like, it's affirmation. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Jack.
Thank you, Tyrai. So many women leaders in top leadership positions hurt their country. Look at Angela Merkel in Germany and the wonderful cultural exchange she forced on Europe. Women that are voting for Kamala because she's a woman and not policy makes us look bad. Yeah, that's true. But they also do it because of feelings. And women get a little caught up in their feelings. Angela Merkel hates Western civilization. So she had a very good reason for doing that. It was to destroy Western civilization. Because a lot of these people, including Kamala, think that Western civilization is the cause of all the problems in the world. Not the fact that we're the shining beacon of freedom. No, it's because you're all oppressing brown people that want to cut people's heads off. Also, monkey check your slabs. Tyrite left you one.
Oh, will do. Do you mean affectation? No, I mean affirmation. She is looking for people to agree with her, and she uses her laugh as a way to do that, like with the head nod. She might as well be saying, and she even did right there, right, trying to get people to agree. Tyrite, thank you. Oh, go ahead.
Imagine at cocktail parties, that is actually effective because people will laugh along just to get along. Oh, ha, 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 yeah.
Yeah. I imagine, though, that afterwards people are driving home going, why was that bitch laughing so much?
Yeah, but she's so low IQ, she's not going to catch on to that.
Thank you, Tyrai. A former sailor serving time behind bars for mishandling classified information is seeking a presidential pardon from Donald Trump, citing comparatively lenient treatment of former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton for her private emails. Yeah. Is that case not decided? That's been going on for a while. Because they threw the book at that dude.
Yeah. Well, he probably had the wrong opinions.
And the fact that someone disagrees with us does not make them the enemy within.
Trump didn't say you're the enemy within for disagreeing with him. That is a bullshit line that only a fucking retard would fall for.
Well, it's just falling for all the Project 2025 stuff is Hitler Jr.'s manifesto. So,
yeah. Dangerous Spaces, thank you so much. Why do you think you would be right for the job? Trump is an evil Nazi. Okay, but why would you be good for this job? Trump is a threat to democracy. Do you understand the question? Trump. Yeah, I mean, it's the Shannon Sharp interview, Jack, it was really bad. Like worse than her other interviews. And he starts off really softball, and then he does get into some decent questions. I got to give him credit. He asked her flat out, how would you make sure that Social Security stays solvent? And she spends like 5 minutes talking about how much Trump sucks.
I'm so surprised.
That is her answer to everything. Hey, what would you do? Trump sucks. What would you do? Trump sucks.
I'd remind you that Trump sucks.
I missed that. I thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
They are family, neighbors, classmates, co-workers. They are fellow Americans. And as Americans,
look at this nice shot.
We rise.
This is what I was talking about. Who does this in the middle of a fucking political speech?
People to make
we
movies.
Get the sideway angle like this is some fucking movie about a politician. This is it. Everything about this woman is scripted. She is so produced, which I understand why the people that are running things are like, yes, get us that woman because she'll say whatever we tell her to. Because she's an actress.
A shitty one, but yeah.
She's an actress. She got her job sucking dick. That's how she got her first part.
Oh, the Weinstein method, yes.
Indeed, yeah. I don't even know what the fuck she was talking about because I did want to highlight. Look at this shit. Jack, you're trying to relate to your average American, and you put out this Hollywood produced crap. Who is running this thing?
I have no idea.
God damn. Okay, I really do need to back up because I was not listening at all. Sorry.
Neighbors, classmates.
Oh yeah, classmates.
Co-workers.
Yeah.
They are fellow Americans.
And some of them are garbage. Some of them are garbage.
Yes, some of them are what we call the Oscar people. They're very grouchy because they're not getting their way on this freedom thing. And yeah, we're going to respect rights for everybody except the 2A.
All right.
As Americans, We rise and fall together.
I mean,
America, for too long.
whoever wrote this has their political dogma down. We rise or fall together. No shit, dummy.
Well, I mean, there's probably some people that would disagree with that, but
you can disagree with it, but as a whole, either the country prospers or it doesn't. Either we go to war or we don't.
yeah,
It's another one of those meaningless phrases that politicians throw out.
yeah. Whoever wrote this is one of the better script writers we've seen for her. She still can't deliver a fucking speech, though.
Long we have been consumed with too much division, chaos, and mutual distrust.
I just realized what this is right here. I didn't even notice it before.
The White House?
No, the bulletproof glass in front of her.
Oh, yeah. She can't help but copy everything Trump does.
Oh, shit. As Elon pointed out, nobody's taking a shot at you, honey. Just stop.
Cares. Nobody cares enough.
The Logical Mail, thank you. Joe Rogan with Donald Trump, nearly 40 million views, and Shannon and Kamala, 12 million views. What does that tell you? Actually, there's deeper. Sorry, this is 1.2 million views. There's deeper meaning behind that 1.2 million views from Shannon Sharp. If you go look, a ton of people are in the comments are like, I immediately paused and just came to comment. So it's not even like, I'd like to see the watch hours, because that's how you can really tell how much, like this stream, we get probably around 2,000 viewers total by the time the next stream comes out and nobody cares anymore.
Yeah.
But the actual watch time, the average watch time for one of our viewers is only half an hour of the 2 hour show. So it would be wrong to claim that 2,000 people watch 2 hours of us a day, because it's not true. Only about a quarter of what we say is heard by most people. And in the case of the Shannon Sharp one, most people are just going over there to rip on Kamala. So yeah, you're right. It does show, but you also do have to realize Shannon Sharp versus Joe Rogan is a much different audience. Joe Rogan's audience expects more political stuff, and he is the biggest podcaster on the planet.
Yeah.
Shannon Sharp has a very loyal audience, but nobody's tuning into Club Shay Shay for, that's the name of it. I'm not making fun. Shannon, kind of gay, really. You're not helping me when I'm saying that your name's not a girl name when your show is Club Shay Shay. I'm
Wait,
just saying.
This is the dude? And he went with Shay Shay?
Yeah.
Wow. You're sure he's not,
I don't know if he's gay, but seriously, I mean, his is more of a
fucking gay.
Most people who are watching Shannon Sharp are watching for sports. So it is important to note that her audience has never been like that. And Trump, yeah, he just smashed the audience over there on. And again, I didn't think that the Rogan thing was that great. But people did tune in for it. People are tuning in for Trump. They are not tuning in for her.
Real quick. Thank you, Cryptic. Camel toe reminds me of a Forrest Gump quote. Mama says stupid is as stupid does.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're not wrong at all. So, yeah, pretty fitting.
Assassin of the Gray says he's pinging the gaydar 100%. And Lisa says Club Shay Shay is very suspect.
Yeah,
That'll
if you
nice.
were going to a bar and somebody's like, come on, let's go to Club Shay Shay, your first response is going to be like, I know going to no gay club. I ain't gay.
For the record, I do enjoy Club Shay Shay from time to time.
Your hair enjoys Club Shay Shay.
I like sports, and they talk a lot of sports. He was doing a show with Ocho Cinco and what's his name? Richard. The DB back for the DB for the Seahawks. And he was on the Niners. Richard Sherman. And they had some really good discussions. And yeah, I really like watching them. The Kamala interview, I'm going to try to drink out of my memory.
Good luck with that.
Cryptic says Sherman.
Are
I
all
think
the
I got it.
sports they talk about like
Real quick, Cryptic. I think I got it before you said it. I'm giving myself credit there. Is all the sports they talk what?
all about naked Greco-Roman wrestling?
No. Mostly football.
Or water sports?
All all three of them have football backgrounds. They all play in the NFL, so it's mostly football talk over there.
Yeah. Oh, it's mostly just commenting about pats on the butt
Yes.
and locker room
Yes,
stuff.
it's about
shenanigans.
showering naked with grown men.
Yeah, well, that's what Club Shay Shay sounds like happens. Thank you, JB, for the generous donation. Have some money, Mr. Jack. Tangent, I have been watching classic films lately. Nice. A lot of samurai films, but going to switch to westerns and war movies eventually, such as The Wild Bunch and The Sand Pebbles. Both are great films and worth a watch. I haven't seen Sand Pebbles, but I have seen Wild Bunch. I always recommend The Searchers because that's a really good one. It's one of the better John Wayne movies, in my opinion. That and True Grit, of course. Samurai films, though, you can't really go wrong. They're all pretty awesome. I recommend Ninja Wars. That will make you wonder why you watch movies.
All right, let's get back to Kamala.
See then to forget a simple truth. It doesn't have to be this way. It doesn't have to be this way. It is time to stop pointing fingers.
She really is going full Biden here. I'm going to mispronounce words. Kamala, will you come out? I asked Obama this and he never answered me, Jack. Will you come out and tell everybody who's saying that the reason people won't vote for you is that they're racist and sexist to stop doing that? Just the other day, you sent Obama out to tell black men that they were sexist and racist. It doesn't have to be this way. The Democrats are all about love and togetherness. It's those goddamn Republicans who are about division. And if you don't vote for me, you're racist, sexist. You know what I'm saying? You can't have it both ways.
And a Nazi.
I mean, look, I know she takes it all three ways, probably at the same time. But when you're talking about logical argument and stuff, you can't have it both ways, that you guys all suck and you're trying to divide us. Those two things don't go together. You're the party of unity that preaches division constantly.
Oh, real quick. Thank you, Ben, for the double feminist donation. I never catch you guys live anymore. Have some money. Also, congrats on the new Grand Monkey. Back to the start I go. I think that one was time for you.
Enjoy. And thank you. Baby came home today. Oh, she's so cute. I won't get to see her until probably next weekend, which is way too far away.
We have to stop pointing fingers and start locking arms. It is time to.
If you see me on the street, please do not come up and lock arms with me.
No, that's creepy. I'll think I'm being kidnapped. In some states, that's stand your ground rules right there.
Yes.
Jeez. I just wanted to lock arms with my buddy. I don't know you. I need an adult.
We need to stop pointing fingers like those fuckers over there who do it.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, Kamala.
Again, this is a better written speech than most of hers, but it's still divisive no matter how much she says unity. It is such a conflicted speech.
It's like I was talking about earlier on the Shannon Sharp one, Jack. She says a lot of stuff that as long as you put no thought into it, sounds fine.
Yeah.
Because like, hey, we need to not point fingers. We need to lock arms. Sounds great until you realize that she's pointing fingers while she's saying we need to stop pointing fingers. You can't say we need to stop pointing fingers without pointing fingers yourself. You're literally pointing at the people you're saying are pointing fingers.
Yeah, I'm with Verifier on this one. This reeks of desperation.
I like this Jesus pose she has here.
Oh yeah, yeah. Let us pray. Did she hand out little bits of like crackers to use as her body? And little
Probably.
shot glasses of
No,
grape
no.
juice?
No, it's not crackers. They use Doritos. Remember, Whitmer showed us that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. They pray to Kamala and take their Dorito communion. Thank you, Ben, for that double feminist $12. Jack was right. I clicked the wrong link, but happy to support you both. I hear Jack sells some great books too. Indeed. And it was, you did not have to donate to me as well. I thank you.
I would have just sent it to him.
Oh,
But
you
thank
didn't
you for supporting us, Ben.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Turn the page on the drama and the conflict.
Did you not open this talking about how Donald Trump wanted Mike Pence to be killed? He said, so what about him, being threatened with death? We need to turn the page on the conflict and the division and the drama that I was doing 2 seconds ago. Seriously. Look, Lalo, I see you're in chat, and I know you're fucking retarded, so asking you a question is really just a waste of time, but you support this woman. How do you listen to shit like that? How do you listen to this woman be so contradictory in one goddamn speech and be like, she's smart? I can't drool enough to get the sound that I imagine he makes when he talks.
Yeah, you
But seriously,
Bojax.
She opened this with 2 minutes of drama, lying the whole fucking time. You turn the page on the drama.
There are a lot of people out there, especially on the left, that live by slogans. They hear something that sounds uplifting to them, and they just latch onto it and say, yes, that, oh, go Queen Slay. They don't actually put any thought into anything. They just, oh, that's really smart sounding because it's got words.
Verifier says, what the fuck? I love drama. Now she wants to ban drama. I know, right? She's trying to take away my fun. Why is Monk picking on the retarded kid?
Well, look, if she wants to ban drama, that means silence people on social media.
I am genuinely curious how anybody can listen to her and not catch all the contradiction.
She rants like Hitler.
Oh, wait. She's going to use the F word, guys.
Oh.
Page on the drama and the conflict, the fear.
She said the word.
You literally just told people that if they disagree with Trump, he's going to send the military after him.
Look, that's not fear-mongering. That's just stating the truth of Project 2025. Trump's manifesto.
How? How is she a real person?
Dude, that is a question I ask myself fairly regular. But then I remember she's probably not. She might be an automaton. I don't know anymore. I rule nothing out. I still say she's a reptilian, but that's just me.
This is literally within 2 minutes of her saying that Trump's going to send the military after you if you disagree with him. We need to turn the page on the fear. Now that I'm done doing it.
Yeah. Only I can instill fear. That way it's all centralized in one location.
The only logical way that you can listen to this woman and be like, yes, she makes sense, is if you actually ignore what she says.
Yes, you have to ignore what she says. If you're just surface level, half listening, then maybe it'll make sense. But if you're actually listening to what she says, there's way too many inconsistencies here.
Yeah.
Real quick though, thank you, JB, for the generous donation. The Sand Pebbles is great. Steve McQueen's in it. Oh, I like Steve McQueen. The movie is about an American battleship patrolling the Yangtze River in 1926. I originally saw it as a kid and it stuck with me. I would play out the ending with my army men. Same with the movie Glory. I like Glory. I think that's a movie you kind of have to be in the mood for because it's not an easy film to watch. It's not like Gods and Generals or anything where you have to just turn off your brain and hope for the best because, dear God, that movie's tiresome. But I'll check it out. I'm sure my dad's seen it. He's probably got a copy.
Yeah, Glory is a rough watch. It's a great movie, but a rough watch.
It really is. There's a lot of movies like that, especially Civil War movies. They're tough to watch, man. They're just, you have to be in the mood for them.
Yeah, I mean, Band of Brothers, which is a series rather than a movie, is another one. You have to be in the mood to watch that. It's hard sometimes.
Yeah.
Dangerous says Kamala is a retardicant. Fuck.
she wears the helmet the same way the furries wear the tail things.
Oh, okay. I got a couple backed up here. Thank you so much. Comrade Kitty says, band drama. No, that's my bread and butter on YouTube. You and me both. Retro, thank you for becoming a member for month number 16. Thank you. Thank you.
Nice.
She has to be real. No one would order the vagina neck option.
I don't know. It's probably a fetish for some people. I want a chick with a vag neck.
And Keldrick, thank you. This is a self-defeating message. The only person I know who loves the drama more than leftists is Monkey. Fair.
Yeah, that's true.
At least I'm honest about it. We got to turn the page on the drama. Did I tell you how much Trump sucks?
And division.
The line that she gave about Trump saying, so what about that? His staff told them that they wanted to kill Mike Pence, and he said, so what? It's literally rumor. There is no evidence of that.
Look, if General Kelly said it, it has to be true.
Fuck, man. Oh, this hurts. This hurts. That's a gizzard. Stop it. Cryptic, thank you. Camel toe is the reason why we Asians have our IQ scored lower. Can we stop being discriminated in college admissions? We stupid too now. Kamala's bringing down the average to get you guys into. Jack, can you talk for a minute?
Sure can. Turkey neck is an American thing, though. Yeah, turkey neck is. That's true. We do have a lot of turkeys. We export it because turkeys are delicious and they're assholes. Vagina neck is so she can swallow her food whole. Gross. It's probably formed from all the years of sucking off other politicians. Rumor has it the power of my truff when it has heart in it. Oh. Well, look, everything is possible, Assassin. Look at me. I am the retard now. Look at me. I am the retard now. The retarded chief. Rumor has to be true. Meanwhile, something we have video evidence of Joe saying, oh, yeah, don't pay any attention to that. There's nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. You know nothing. So how's things for Mr. Jack? They've been worse. They've been better. But can she unhinge her jaw like a snake? You should ask Willie Brown. He might know. Well, Monk, it's simple, Mr. Jack. Is Pence dead now? If not, who cares? Yeah, basically. My truth spelled in leftist. Yeah. My truth. That's my truth. Yeah, sorry. I'm tired, dude. It's 7 a.m. I was thinking the same thing. Ask Willie. Yeah. Or any of the other dudes. Ask Montel. Montel, can she unhinge her jaw? Megatron had to take a phone call, so he stepped away. I did it earlier. It's only fair. I can't think of anything I would do different from Biden, so you're going to turn the page to write the same thing? Yep. I can swallow John Voight like an anaconda. Or Samuel L. Jackson like in Deep Blue Sea. Because I imagine there's teeth in it. Oh. So what's going on out there, guys? Anything exciting? Is there something exciting going on out in Chatland? Willie Brown probably got gonorrhea. I don't know. I'm going to have to go with probably not, just for the safety's sake. So I don't get in trouble. Yeah, hit the like button if you haven't already. There's 295 watching. We only have 111 likes. That's not mathing. How's Rumble doing? You guys doing okay over there? Hi, Colorful. Hi, Dead Rabbit. Hey, Brian. Hey, Dangerous. Hi, Mr. Jack. Oh, that's me. Hi, Isaac. Hi, Cannibal. We don't ignore you guys on purpose. It just works out that way. Found out my cat has asthma. Oh, my cat, the cat that's been hanging out with me sneezes a lot. I think it's just dusty because I don't vacuum as often as I should. Remember when she was America's first Indian senator? That was then. Times have changed. So you have to grow with the times. And the times are that now she's black. Bonfire next week. Oh, that's cool. Is that for what do they call it? November 5th, Guy Fawkes Day? Yeah, probably. Q, you're probably not wrong. Thanks again for dropping links, Brian. And Stargazer, of course. My cat keeps sneezing in my mouth. Oh, that's disgusting. Oh, cool. Yeah, I always wanted to be in the UK during Guy Fawkes night. That seemed like a really cool day because you got all the bonfires and it seems like a big party. Except for the whole, history of the thing.
I'm back. Sorry about that. Lady Monkey's down there with my daughter, so she's been calling me in the mornings and I get to talk to the girls, which is always fun.
Oh, that's cool. The kids are up already?
Yeah, they got to go to school, dude.
Psh, whatever.
They got to get educated.
Have you seen the education they're getting?
Why it's supplemented, with giving them real information. Anyhow, Comedy Low was just talking about fear. So, yeah.
It is time for a new generation of leadership in America.
That looks suspiciously like the old leadership.
Right? I mean, she keeps using that line like she's young. Didn't she just turn 60?
Yep.
We need new leaders, not as young as Vance. Jack, I have to share a little story with you about JD Vance.
Oh, yeah?
I have said repeatedly that nobody votes based on the VP, and I was wrong. I know several women or know of several women who are voting for Trump because they like JD Vance.
Is it because of his eyeliners done so well?
Nope. They tell me that he sounds like a very reasonable guy and he seems like a normal person, which if you're looking for a normal person in the grouping of Trump, Vance, Harris, and Walls, yeah, he is the normal one.
Yeah, it's kind of weird to say, but he probably is the most normal of that crowd. So,
but yeah, I mean, Trump might have been onto something with picking him beyond, any policy. Ladies, I know that y'all are going to be like, Monkey, how dare you say this? But if you want women to vote for you, get a good-looking man involved. Women will vote for a good-looking man before they will vote for a woman any day. Just saying. Because women are fucking shallow. Not as shallow as us, because we men are shallow. I actually had to have that argument with someone the other day. Like, women will only date attractive men. I'm like, you do realize it's the male sex that is the visually stimulated one? That's why you do see hot chicks with people like Bill Gates or Elon Musk. Elon Musk is an ugly dude. Sorry. Donald Trump, ugly dude, but maybe there's some money that has to play in there too.
Look, the bigger your wallet, the more attractive you are. It's just science. Chicks love presidents, man.
RM, thank you so much for that. 5 gifted memberships. I appreciate it. Thank you. Cryptic, thank you. What is a woman? They're the vaginal Americans. All right. Simps ruin the balance of nature. You're wrong. You are not wrong. Look, we get a nice.
I am ready.
Look at this fucking produced bullshit. I can't be the only one looking at this going, really? And I look, she's got freedom up on all of these signs.
It's spelled freedom. Freedom.
Has freedom been like a campaign slogan for her? Shouldn't that say dead baby or something? Or abortion?
Maybe that's what they mean by freedom. You're
Did you
being
see-
unburdened by what has been.
Did you see the Glitch McConnell trip yesterday? I did not. Did he have another meltdown? Mitch McConnell should not be in office. That man needs to be kicked out of the Senate.
He's stepping down at the end of this.
I know, but
Yeah,
just like with Biden, he should not be there.
Oh, I agree.
They should have removed him from the Senate after his first meltdown. And then with the second one, like, no, you can't be here anymore. We got to get somebody whose brain fucking works.
Yeah. Just like when they wheeled out Dianne Feinstein and had Oprah write her name. Fucking sick, man.
To offer that leadership as the next president of the United States of America.
Look at her. Look at how determined she is. They even practiced this, Jack.
Oh, yeah. I wonder how long it took her to learn how to do this.
I bet you she has an earpiece.
Oh, I guarantee you she has an earpiece. That's why you can't see her ears at all.
And for the people wondering the significance of the earpiece, there's a producer in her ear telling her, and now's the time to look serious.
Yeah, look stoic. Look slightly to your right. The framing of the
Now,
flags.
Let me say,
I don't remember her ever having that many American flags.
I
But-
don't know if she has or not, but yeah, she definitely made sure to.
Yeah, well, the flags, but you can still see the White House between them when you look front on her. It's very produced.
let me say, I recognize this has not been a typical campaign.
You mean because they just handed you the nomination?
Yeah, of
And she giggles about it.
course she does, because she knows.
Even though I've had the honor of serving as your vice president for the last 4 years, I know
Could you be more self-aggrandizing? What?
I know I'm really awesome, but
I know that many of you are still getting to know who I am. Well, let me tell you, I am someone who has spent most of my career outside of Washington, D.C.
But
Oh,
in
you're an
politics. For the record, she's been in DC longer than Trump was.
oh yeah.
She's
But
at 8
she's-
years now. 4 years as a senator, 4 years as the VP, and she's going to claim the outsider role.
Yeah, even though she was still working for the government in most of her other roles. So, yeah, she's
Yeah.
the outsider, you guys. Not the businessman. No, that she is the outsider. Is there anything she
So
doesn't rip off from Trump's campaign?
No. There's nothing about her that is not from someone else. I mean, the entirety of her is manufactured. It's just stolen from other people. And look, guys, you can take inspiration from other folks. That's fine. But have you ever heard her give an original idea?
I'm going to go with no.
Same for Vance. Yeah. The only one who can claim outsiderness is Trump.
Yep.
Trump is, I mean, Vance is probably the least experienced of all of them because he's only been there 2 years now, right?
I think so.
Dangerous, thank you. Why did they misspell freedom? 2, is she implying that people are enslaved under Joe Biden? I mean, that is on brand for Democrats. People shouldn't need to get to know you 1 week before the election. Especially, I mean, Brett Baer brought this up. This 27 minutes that your people are freaking out over was for you to introduce yourself. Tell the people what you believe. And what did she do? Trump sucks. Thank you, Cryptic. She sucked her way up the government ladder. True. She has failed upwards. It's all she's ever done.
Who has spent most of my career outside of Washington, D.C.
Uh-huh.
So I know that not all the good ideas come from here.
Can you name any of them that did? I know not all the good ideas come from here. Just all of my good ideas. Fuck off.
I am not afraid of tough fights against bad actors and powerful interests.
The people that you want to unify with? See, this is what I was talking about. You got to forget what she's already said. You got to be unburdened by the rest of her speech to take any of her speech seriously.
Because for decades, as a prosecutor and a top law enforcement officer of our biggest state, I won fights against
Our biggest state, Alaska?
Yes.
Or Texas would be second if you're talking just continental, like, you know, the lower 48.
Yeah.
California is smaller than Texas, right?
Yeah, I think she's speaking population wise.
Nope. She said biggest.
Yeah, it's not what she said, but it's what she meant. But again, she's a moron.
Clearly.
Let's talk about your prosecution record, Kamala. Yeah. One of the worst ones in the state when she was a prosecutor. Her office was made fun of. I mean, you can go back and find the stories, Jack. She had like the lowest prosecution success rate of any major city by a lot. Their closure rates, their conviction rates were between, for most of the state, 80 and 90%. Hers was in the low 70s. But she wasn't afraid of taking them on.
She just didn't want to.
I was not afraid of wasting Californians' money. Thank you, Spud Gun. Everything about her is stolen from other people. I am not reading the rest of that. Says, so she really is black. Yes, she's a thief. Not that all black people are, but she is.
Owners against for-profit colleges that scammed veterans and students, against predators who
against for-profit colleges. You mean all of them?
She's taking a cheap shot at Trump University.
I know what she's doing. But again, if you have any common sense at all, do you guys really think that colleges out there are doing it for the love of education? You think that's why they're charging those kids so much? Huh?
abused women and children and
Hang on.
against predators who abused women and children.
Did she prosecute Doug?
No, because the elites are exempt.
Kamala, maybe you shouldn't talk about abusive men when you're married to one. I'm not saying you have to talk about the Doug Emhoff allegations, but maybe shut the fuck up. Saying says she ain't black. You're right. Saying was her 100%. This woman, she's not. She's
Indian.
She's Indian and Jamaican. Shannon Sharp actually called her an African American. I'm like, no, just no.
Wow.
And cartels that trafficked in guns, drugs, and human beings.
You sent Obama out to tell black guys that they're racist and sexist. Obama was a gun trafficker.
Yeah, him and Eric Holder, both black men, ran guns for the cartels in an attempt to catch them.
And I did this work because for as long as I can remember, I have always had an instinct to protect.
Really?
Wow.
I've never seen anything about Kamala that shows me an instinct to protect herself. Maybe.
Yeah, her self-interest, but that'd be about it.
I started a riot because a firework went into a crowd, Jack, because I have an instinct to protect people. Kamala sucked a dick to get ahead. She did not.
An instinct to swallow.
Yeah, that's her instinct. Opening up the womb for Willie to come in there. Nothing she's ever done has shown any kind of instinct to protect people. Thank you, Matt Barnes. Everybody hit that like. Monkey, congrats again on the new Grand Monkey. And while I'm at it, have to Jack. Now I have to go to the beginning. TTFN. Ta-ta for now. Thank you so much for the donation.
Yeah, thank you, Matt. Appreciate it. Thank you, Big Dro.
There's something about
Sorry. Go ahead.
Kamala can abuse me any day like Doogie, like slapping his ex-girlfriends. Oh, wow. Anything I say will get us in trouble. Thank you, Big Dro.
Dragon Mage says that's why she kept black men locked up past their time. Yeah. She was protecting them, from freedom. The big signs that she has up.
I have always had an instinct to protect. There's something about people being treated unfairly or overlooked that frankly just gets to me.
She's about to do one of her little accent things, isn't she?
Probably.
Lake and Riley, lady.
No, that's the wrong type of protection. She's protecting the sainted illegals from the prosecution that the nasty old Republicans want to put them through.
Yeah. The overlooked people, the ones, that are like, hey, could you stop destroying our communities with illegals who shouldn't be here?
No, they deserve freedom.
Fairly or overlooked that frankly just gets to me. I don't like it.
I don't like it.
I don't like it.
It's
So
what
like
my
a little
mother
kid.
instilled in me. A drive to hold accountable those who use their wealth or power to take advantage of other people.
Springfield, Ohio. How do you feel about her saying that?
Yeah.
Just curious.
Anywhere on the North Carolina coastline.
Again, whoever wrote this, they know all the dogma they're supposed to say, but it's meaningless drivel.
Yep, but they're hitting those buzzwords. It makes me feel good in my no-no spots.
Mm-hmm.
I feel good.
And tell us about how great Diddy is, sweetie. Has she spoke out about against Diddy at all?
I doubt it.
Because she was championing him not that long ago, a few years back. She's like, Diddy's done so much for us. Yeah, she hasn't come out and spoke out for the people that man abused. But her mom instilled in her that you just can't look at that stuff and be silent. Fuck you whore.
Yeah.
Tell us
about marriage and nannies.
Oh yeah. Or domestic violence.
Well, yeah, sometimes bitches need smacked up, according to her, I guess.
Well, sorry, I had to stop to take a picture for my wife. Snapchatting, not a dick pic. She does not approve of those. She gets testy.
That doesn't mean you weren't sending one.
I wasn't though. Ragnar, thank you. She got the support of the BBC and the BBC. LOL. One of those is in caps. All right.
Working Americans who aren't always seen or heard and deserve a voice. And I will tell you that is the kind of president I will be. And look, I'll be honest with you, I'm not perfect. I make mistakes, but here's what I promise you. I will always listen to you, even if you don't vote for me. I will
and then ignore you.
Hey, Kamala, I have a whole lot to say to you. When can we chat? There's a lot of words I have.
Oh yeah, that's never happening.
Hey, she just told me she will always listen to me. Always.
Yeah, it doesn't mean she's actually hearing you.
Jay, you know this
She
bitch
just hears wah 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 wah.
during the Shannon Sharp interview. She said she gets like 9 hours of sleep a night. Well, what she says is that her days are 15 hours long. That's how long she's awake each day, which means 9 hours of sleep a night. You ever heard of somebody in a presidential election getting 9 hours of sleep a night? They always talk about how little
No,
sleep they get.
they're
It's
lucky
why
to
they
get like
age.
3 or 4.
Yeah, it's why people age so much on the campaign trail because they're not sleeping well. But she's going to take your calls whenever you need to talk. Fuck.
Right.
I'm just
Real
like one
quick,
of you
thank you,
fellow
Tyrai.
kids.
She is shown to abuse power. We picked up a lag.
Keep going.
Thank you, Tyrai. She is shown to abuse power, her and Walls. Hate fact. She was doing that for your own good. Sorry, I walked all over you there, monkey.
No, you're fine, bud.
Always tell you the truth, even if it is difficult to hear.
You're garbage people.
How many lies did we point out at the beginning of your speech? I will always tell you the truth, except when I'm lying to you. Jesus Christ.
I will work every day to build consensus and reach compromise to get things done.
You told one of the ladies that interviewed you that there was no compromise on abortion. Were you lying then or not? Well, you'll never lie to us. So, that's a conundrum.
Oh, I got this figured out. There is no compromise. You're wrong. Now shut up.
She just told us she would compromise to get consensus.
The compromise is telling you you're wrong.
Oh,
and
it's
then locking you up.
You're right. Yeah, because the Democrat idea of compromise is give us what we say. Yeah, you're right. You're right. My bad, Kamala. I forgot you guys don't know how to use English properly.
And if you give me the chance to fight on your behalf, there is nothing in the world that will stand in my way.
That sounds like a threat.
Not even the law. She's going to follow the law, Jag, but nothing's going to stand in her way. Those two things don't go together. Again, the right dogma, it just doesn't fit her.
Yeah.
At all. Nothing will stand in my way. What you want to do with guns is illegal. I don't care. I'm going to follow the law and break it.
She's going to follow the new laws that they craft that override your pesky constitution.
So look, in less than 90 days, either Donald Trump or I will be in the Oval Office. Okay? On day one, and on day one, if elected, Donald Trump would walk into that office with an enemies list. When elected, I will walk in with a to-do list.
A to-do list of enemies.
Her to-do list says, I don't deal in hypotheticals. Again, I realize that the press gave her a lot of pats on the back for this line, but it's a dumbass line when she can't even explain what it is that she's going to do.
She hasn't explained any of her policies, so I can only assume that by doing something, it means assassinations or imprisonment of her enemies.
No, her to-do list says 1, make things better. 2, continue to make things better. It's vague nonsense.
No,
that's all she
what
is.
I meant. Make things better by imprisoning and or killing your opponents. right?
Cryptic, thank you. Kamala and Democrats love killing babies as much as she likes new accents. True. All right, he's gonna come in with an enemies list. We need to get rid of fear. We need to stop having fear. Didn't she just say that? We need to turn the page on fear.
Monkey, we need to be unburdened by what has been, and that was in the past. That was like minutes ago.
Christ almighty. All right. Maybe he's coming in with an enemies list that he doesn't plan on doing anything about those enemies, Jack. So there's no reason to be fearful. He just has a list.
Well, I mean, that would probably be good practice for him. So
Full of priorities of what I will get done for the American people.
Uh-huh.
And I will work with everyone, Democrats, Republicans, and independents.
And all the Nazis that are out there.
yeah,
And the racists and the sexists. The transphobes and the gay phobes. I will work with all these deplorables.
To help Americans who are working hard and still struggling to get ahead. I have been honored to serve as Joe Biden's vice president.
That's the second time she's told us she's been honored to be vice president.
well, it was a big honor, apparently.
Quick, everybody clap for me again.
So awesome.
But I will bring my own experience.
Jack, she was asked on the Shannon Sharp show, what would you, if you could, what would you go back and tell your 18-year-old self? And her answers boiled down to stay awesome.
Wow, that's modest.
Her first answer was keep keeping your friends.
What?
Yeah. Continue keeping your friends. So keep doing the thing that made me so awesome. She is so fucking egotistical. I don't know what sucking dick to power does to the ego, but clearly it makes it worse than mine.
Apparently.
She really did. Her answer to what advice would you give your younger self is basically, you go, girl.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I whatever. Fucking crazy bitch. Let me grab a couple here. Thank you, Keldrig. Kamala's to-do list. Number 1, Kim Jong-un. Number 2, Xi Jinping. 3, Vladimir Putin. And 4, Willie Brown again. Yeah, she's got to wash the taste out of her mouth. Thank you, Comrade Kitty. If I was elected on day 1, I'd move in. Duh, no one ever says this. Let me settle first, then get my to-do list going. Yeah, you're not wrong, comrade. That kind of is the main thing, is to get unpacked.
She said, she's going to be doing stuff for the hardworking Americans. What happened to the ones who couldn't or didn't want to work that AOC wanted to do stuff for?
I don't know.
Do they not exist anymore? Are they not people too, Kamala?
No, apparently not.
The freeloaders, the people who don't want to work?
What about the people that wanted bodily autonomy so they didn't have to get a vaccine they didn't want? Oh, yeah, my bad. Sorry, I forgot. We're not supposed to talk about that.
Experiences and ideas to the Oval Office. My presidency will be different because the challenges we face are different.
Are they? I mean, technically, we don't have COVID anymore, but otherwise, violence around the world, threats to us, illegal immigration, which has been an issue since the 70s, inflation, which is, I'll give you that. That is new, but your administration did that.
Yeah.
What? Thank you. I love your channel. Thank you so much for watching, Roger. I have all the unique experiences. I'm the girl boss who can do things that nobody else has even had to deal with before.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like we haven't had these problems for a while. Even like inflation, that's been a problem before during the Vietnam era.
Mhm.
So why don't they just call up? I mean, they could call up Carter's people, but I don't think that's a good idea.
Everything it's so manufactured. I mean, we're watching a superhero origin story here, Jack.
Or super villain, I'm not sure which.
Tomato, tomato.
Our top priority as a nation 4 years ago was to end the pandemic and rescue the economy. Now,
Feels like one of those is still highly relevant.
Yeah, at least one of those.
our biggest challenge is to lower costs that were rising even before the pandemic. And
No, they weren't.
That's a total lie.
That is a bullshit lie. Fuck. But she had to throw that in there because people had pointed out every time they pull the Donald Trump's inflation nonsense, every bad economic thing we had going on under Trump happened during the pandemic because of the pandemic and the reaction to it.
Yep.
that are still too high. I get it.
So wait, are you admitting that the economy is an issue and that it's the same issue as before?
Probably not.
No.
still remember our mother sitting at that yellow Formica table, late at night, cup of tea in hand, a pile of bills in front of her, trying to make it all work.
She keeps telling this story because when she was talking to, I think it was the Shannon Sharp interview, I remember when my mom was finally able to afford her first home. She grew up wealthy. Her mom was not paying the light bill this month and the gas bill the next month and just putting it off playing bill roulette. Jesus Christ.
Look, maybe that was what happened in Scranton.
It is. Her mom was at the table with Grandpa Joe doing bills there in Puerto Rican Scranton.
Yeah, they were hanging out together when they found out Uncle Bosie was eaten by cannibals.
Christ. You're not one of us, Kamala. Stop trying to put it off that way.
Yeah, it's so disingenuous.
And I've heard from so many of you who are facing even greater financial pressures.
Your mom might have sat down at that yellow Formica table and paid bills, but pretty much any normal American you talk to had much more stress than your mom did because she had the money to pay all the bills. I hate her.
Donald Trump's answer to you is the same as it was the last time.
An amazing economy? Cool. I'm
Yeah.
game. Let's do it.
Bring it on.
Another $1 trillion in tax cuts for billionaires and big corporations. And this time, he will pay for it with a 20% national sales tax on everything you buy that is imported.
Remember, guys, she wants to get away from fear, but Donald Trump's going to cost you 20% in sales tax, which, by the way, it's not even a sales tax. What she's talking about is a tariff, and she's a retard.
Yeah, it's a tariff on imports, obviously. Not everything is made out of the U.S. We don't import, like food, for the most part.
Imported. Think about it. Clothes, food, toys, cell phones. A Trump sales tax that would cost the average family nearly $4,000 more a year. And on top of that, you will pay even more if Donald Trump finally gets his way and repeals the Affordable Care Act.
The Affordable Care Act blew up our budget deficit by a lot. It blew up our budget by a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to pay more if he gets rid of that thing. All right. Most people's insurance at least doubled in price because of Obamacare. But you're going to pay. And remember, guys, we can't be spreading fear. Donald Trump's going to bankrupt you and make you live in the street. No fear.
Oh, is that why they called us garbage? Because we'll be living in the trash cans.
We have nothing to fear except Donald Trump himself.
And his supporters, those garbage people. The floating you can tell because they float.
Mine quadrupled. Then I went to the state exchange and my prices keep going up. Yeah. She keeps wanting to pretend that Obamacare saved anybody money. It's fucking nonsense.
Yeah. That's why the deductible's like $5,000.
Mm-hmm.
Which would throw millions of Americans off their health insurance and take us back to when insurance companies had the power to deny people with pre-existing conditions. Well, we are not going back. We are not going back.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Trump basically come out and say they'll fix ACA? They're not going to get rid of it now?
Yeah, I believe that has been his stance for a while now.
Yeah. He's going to get rid of it because she's once again talking about Project 2025.
Naturally.
We are not going back because we also know Donald Trump would deliver tax cuts to his billionaire donors. I will deliver tax cuts to working people and the middle class.
Yeah, this is a new line she's come up with in the last month or so is she's giving the middle class a tax cut. Kay, how are you paying for all the shit you want to do?
That's a secret.
Even you don't have to come out and say you're going to raise taxes on them. In order to pay for everything, she would have to. But how are you going to give them how are you paying for that tax cut?
I told you it's a secret.
I will make sure you have a chance not just to get by, but to get ahead.
And nobody knows about head like Kamala.
Damn it, you beat me to it.
You're letting Trump's middle class tax cuts expire. Yeah, because Trump's tax cuts are still in place. They've not been repealed and they're set to expire, and they're going to let them expire, which, by the way, will increase your taxes.
Yeah.
Every American's taxes will go up because the Trump tax cut was an across the board tax cut.
Because I believe in honoring the dignity of work.
You're a commie. No, you don't.
Dignity of work. Shut up.
I will enact the first ever federal ban on price gouging on groceries.
Again, though, who's doing that right now?
Nobody's doing that. It sounds good, and she wants to attack somebody. So yeah, that's the best she's got.
Cap the price of insulin and limit out-of-pocket prescription costs for all Americans.
Hope you like the drugs we have, because that's all we're gonna get.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not going to be any new innovation.
Yep.
To make sure that hardworking Americans can actually afford a place to live.
He's going to fight for that,
I'll
Jack.
never forget how our mother saved up and how excited she was when she could finally afford to buy our first home. I remember
with cash.
How excited she was. And I know that owning a home is not only a measure of financial security, it's about the pride of your hard work.
Well, you better be financially secure because you got taxes to pay.
Owning a home is not a good way to get financial security. Lots of people have gone into severe financial crisis because of it.
Oh, yeah.
You We even have a nickname for one of those crises. It's called the housing crisis.
What? You're crazy.
And as president, I will fight to help first-time
Everyone gets Section 8 housing. Yeah. Don't ask her about the government housing because the examples we have, none of them want to talk about. Can anybody point to government housing in the United States that isn't ghetto?
Shut up. There's nothing to see here.
home buyers with your down payment, take on the companies that are jacking up rents, and build millions of new homes.
As I asked during the Shannon Sharp thing, fine, you're going to take on the ones who are jacking up rent. How? What are you going to do? Are you going to limit how much people can charge for rent?
Oh, she has talked about that before. So,
yeah. Look, I know that some people, don't call her a communist. All she's talking about is pushing further and further to communistic ideas.
yeah.
First, you start with the rent controls, and then you just take over the housing industry itself and give it out to the people. By the way, I hope you like living with other families because that's what they'll have to do.
Yeah. Yeah. You'll have to double up and, yeah, just get used to that idea of lower living standards.
Yep.
For years, we have heard excuses about why America can't build enough housing. Enough with the excuses. I'm going to cut the red tape and work with the private sector and local governments.
She's going to get rid of local regulations, Jack.
Yeah, just federalize all of them. Fuck it.
To speed up building and get it done.
You have 3 months left in office. Why don't you do that? Never mind. Never mind. If she did answer that, it would be, did I mention Trump sucks? I'm going to do all these wonderful things that I just can't do unless you give me ultimate power. Q, thank you. This bitch just said, I believe in respecting the dignity of work, which is why I'm not allowing companies to charge what their services are worth. The fact that she was so proud of that illogical nonsense is as baffling as the seals clapping at her. Again, it all makes great sense as long as you don't pay attention to what she's saying.
Yeah, it's shocking how accurate that is.
Yeah.
And the cost of housing isn't the only financial pressure on middle-class families. I've met so many young people who have a natural desire to parent their children well, but not always the resources to do it. So I'll fight for a child tax credit to save them some money.
There's already a child tax credit to save them some money. There's also the earned income credit, which saves them. What the fuck are you talking about?
Nope, she invented that. You don't know what you're talking about.
Look, guys, if we just give them enough money, then they won't be poor anymore. Then they'll be good parents.
Yeah, I'm surprised she hasn't talked about basic income yet.
Which will also lift American children out of poverty.
If your parents get a Kamala crib, you won't be poor.
Your parents will be dead. Your kid will be dead.
Jesus Christ.
This is fucked up. Thank you, Tyrek. I tried to use the VA home loan and the regulations for it make it impossible to be useful unless no one needs homes. No one needs houses. These types of loans already exist by the government. Yeah, and they're giant clusterfuck of bureaucratic nonsense. So, yeah, you're 100% correct.
And as P-Dog has pointed out, this is not for first-time home buyers. This is for first-generation home owners. Basically, It's for illegals.
Yep. It's all about legalizing the illegals. That was the sentence I just said.
I'll work to lower the cost of childcare, which is out of reach for too many working families today. And for too many people in the sandwich generation who are raising young children and taking care of a parent, juggling all of it is extremely difficult. You know, I took care of my mother when she got sick, cooking food that she had a taste for,
And a sweater.
finding clothes that would not irritate
There it
her
is.
skin. And understand, as
She has told this thing so many times. She thinks that's all that, a sick parent need. Got to give him some food and a sweater.
Yeah, she's not talking about I had to clean up after them when they had a mess.
Yeah.
I didn't have to wipe them off or put bibs on her and make food. No, it's I cooked some stuff she liked and I gave her a sweater. That is the most innocuous bullshit that somebody who's never had to take care of somebody would say. That's insulting, honestly.
Q is asking what the sandwich generation is. It's people my age who are taking care of an elderly parent and a child. This is a term that they've decided to use for that, because that never happened before this year.
Yeah.
Hey, Kamala, you've been in public office for what, 25, 30 years now? It's been 30 years. Anybody know when her mom died? Wasn't that not that long ago? Do you remember her taking time off to go take care of her mom? Anyone?
I don't remember that ever being talked about, no. Which means she probably hired a nurse.
Yeah. She occasionally went and said hi to her sick mom, but she wasn't the one. She's not like you having to take care of your parents who are actually elderly and sick.
Yeah.
Just like these fucking assholes. It's so hard raising my children. Yeah, I'm sure your Mexican nanny said that.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
8 or 9 years ago. 8 or 9 years ago means that's when she's the Attorney General of California. She did not take off time from the Attorney General's office to go deal with her sick mom. I took care of my mom. No, the rich or the people that you paid with your riches took care of her.
as I do, that caregiving is about dignity. It is about dignity.
No, it's not.
No,
it's not.
No, it's about taking care of the elderly.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
It's got nothing. Trust me, it's not dignified at all.
Caregiving is about dignity. No, it's in the fucking name. Caregiving. It's not dignity giving, you fucking idiot. God, seriously, man, the jargon in this speech is off the charts.
Oh, they worked in all the buzzwords.
Fuck. We have to give them dignity. How you got dignity wiping your mom's ass?
Yeah, like I said, no dignity in any of that. No.
It's about dealing with the horrors that life brings us. Fuck you.
Yeah. And to treat it so flippantly is really disturbing and insulting.
Well, I mean, listen to how she explains it. I mean, taking care of a sick elderly person, it's about finding the foods that they want to eat and making sure they have clothes that don't irritate their skin.
Which is how you know that she is from an upper class background, because that means she did nothing of the sort. She at most took a meal over. I am helping. No, you're not. You're a piece of shit.
Taking care of an elderly parent is making sure they're taking the right medicine so they don't accidentally kill themselves.
Yeah.
It's about bathing them and helping them get dressed, not just a comfy sweater. It's how you know that she had somebody else doing the actual work.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
she's latching onto that the same way she latched onto fucking McDonald's workers. It's just another thing for her to be like, I am such a giving person. Fuck you.
And currently, if you need home care and you don't have some money to hire someone, you and your family need to deplete your savings to qualify for help.
Why don't you just tell them to do what you did and take care of them yourself?
Because that's almost impossible, trust me.
She didn't tell us about hiring people, Jack. But now it's about that. Huh. Good day, Monkey and Jack. Sorry, I can't afford a donation. Look, guys, you never have to apologize for not being able to donate. We appreciate the donations more than we could ever express. But we're just happy you're here hanging out.
Yeah, look, just because this is our job doesn't mean you're obligated to help. You know, don't worry about it. Trust me, we've all been broke. Well, some of us still are. Trust me.
Donations are appreciated, never mandatory.
Yeah, this isn't like you're tipping at the Applebee's where they just assume you're going to give them money. No, that's fucking rude. I hate streamers that do that.
I really hate the ones that I go into and it's like, this is for subscribers only to chat. Go fuck yourselves.
Yeah, then why is it publicly announced? That's douchey. Savings, what savings exactly, Keister?
Right. So we're going to change the approach and allow Medicare to cover the cost of home care.
Are you raising FICA taxes?
Are you trying to destroy the Medicare system? Because they're already giving illegals Medicare and Social Security. This would honestly probably cripple Medicare more than it already is. But I guess we're going cloud and Piven. So what do I know?
P-Dog, why are you sending me something Keith Olbermann said? Oh, Chris, descending to whoring yourself and lying for Trump beneath even you? I mean, he's talking to Chris Cillizza, so there's nothing that's beneath him.
There's really nothing beneath either one of them, honestly, because Olbermann's that guy's nuts.
So Ramesh Panaru said, it's worse than Hillary Clinton's 2016 basket of deplorables remark, which she said contained only half of Trump supporters. And Chris Cillizza says, also the attempt to transcribe this by the White House as supporters with the apostrophe, as opposed to supporters without it, which he clearly says is laughable. And Olbermann's like, you're whoring yourself for Trump by being honest? Dear fucking Christ. Man, Keith, you are a fucking joke. That dude's a fucking loser, man. Olbermann's a raving lunatic, and that's not even hyperbole. That's true, Peter. 100. That dude is out of his fucking mind. All right.
So seniors can get the help and care they need in their own homes.
So we're going to help you take care of your family by paying other people to do it. Which, I mean, if she was honest about how she was saying that, I would probably be against it because you need to find a way to pay for that shit.
Yeah. Plus, I wonder what kind of government strings are going to be attached.
Sure. And we all know that government-sponsored care is the best you can get, Jack. Just ask the VA.
Yeah, that's what I always think of as like the horror stories out of the VA.
Think of how many people have become ultra wealthy because of welfare.
Yeah,
we have welfare millionaires everywhere in the rap industry. That's fucked up but true.
Yeah.
Can you name other people that have? The only time that happens is if they become sports stars or musicians.
Yeah.
Why do you think it's called welfare? Don't worry, guys. The same people who can't figure out that they're, what are we almost on? We're coming up on 40 years of bullshit social programs don't work. They're going to take care of your parents for you.
Yeah.
With
and then
dignity.
Probably. Can you imagine how, because, if your parents are bad enough they can't be at home, they pretty much take everything you own and put them in government housing. Whereas maybe some $5 an hour worker is going to clean them occasionally. But can you imagine if the government wants to get involved in their care? Because now they're going to want a say in what medications they take, how the bandages are applied, and they're probably going to take all their stuff anyway.
Yeah. It's got to be paid for, man.
Yeah.
But Kamala made sure her mom had a sweater. And that's just like how you guys are struggling. Fuck off, Kamala.
Yeah.
Now, Donald Trump has a different approach. He tried to cut Medicare and Social Security every year he was president.
I don't remember that.
It's actually baked in. It's what's called non-discretionary spending. I don't know what specifically she's talking about here. I do think we should cut Medicare spending to the people who shouldn't be getting it right now.
Yeah,
'Cause
there's
the
a
people-
lot of people that shouldn't be getting Medicare and Social Security.
Yeah. But all right, let's hear what dumbass has to say. I love that face of hers right there. It's like the scene in a scary movie right before the bad guy slashes.
Right as she poops herself.
Yeah.
Look, I believe that when people have worked hard their entire life, they deserve to retire with the benefits they have earned.
But you're talking about giving them more than the benefits that they earned. Hello, Monkey. Thank you for uploading this content. It's exactly what we need in our community. Can we discuss a mutual agreement? Please contact me. Hit me up on Twitter. My DMs are open.
That says mutually agreement.
I know. This is one of those people that, have I told you I've been getting a lot of emails for people who want me to do ads for them?
Oh, no. I always get the ones that are like, we can boost your content.
No, these are people who want to work with me that all I have to do is agree to give them a really good review, and they will send me some stuff. And if anybody buys stuff, then they'll pay me.
Uh-huh.
Go away. Leave me alone.
That's too complicated.
They're making a new scary movie, allegedly. It's not allegedly. Marlon Wayans is the one who posted that out.
Yeah.
The Wayans brothers got control of the franchise again, and they're going to make a new one.
And I believe in the fundamental freedom of Americans to make decisions about their own bodies and not have their government tell them what to do.
Oh, I got a phrase for you. Pandemic of the unvaccinated.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the pandemic's the easy one to go to because they've never believed in that. They never have. Their rhetoric has always been about, look, what they believe is women should be able to kill their babies. That's it. Just say it that. You don't even have to say it that way because I know you guys aren't honest. Just say, I believe in abortion. Fine. But they've never been of the impression that your body is your choice. That only matters to them in abortion. And her own, exactly, dangerous, her own campaign. Now, what she'll say is, look, my campaign requires that, but it's not a government thing because it's a private campaign. But the government did force it on service members. They kicked people out of the armed forces for refusing to get the shot.
Yep. Not to mention that she sounds like she's opposed to the draft now.
You would think, but no, she's all for that.
Oh yeah, that's just affects pesky men.
Because when they talk about the government not telling you what to do with your body, they are literally just talking about abortion.
Mm-hmm.
But abortion supporters cannot help but lie. It's all they know how to do. Because if they were honest about what they were doing, you would be like, that's fucking grotesque. Hey, Kamala, real quick. You were asked this during several of your interviews. Do you think there should be any limits on abortion? Any at all? Like, let's say the baby's crowning. Everything's healthy with the baby. Everything's healthy with the mom. The baby's crowning. Hasn't popped out yet. Could they puncture its soft spot and be like, you know what? I decided no. Not saying that happens. I'm saying, should that be okay? Should the government be able to go, you can't kill that? No, that's never happened.
I will fight to restore what Donald Trump and his hand-selected Supreme Court justices took away from the women of America.
The right to murder their babies.
That today,
By the way, I just want to remind everybody, Roe v. Wade did not make abortion legal under all circumstances.
Yeah. Also, the Dobbs decision kicked it back to the states. They didn't outlaw it.
Yeah.
1 in 3 women in America, think about it. 1 in 3 women in America lives in a state with a Trump abortion ban.
0 women live in a state with a Trump abortion ban.
No,
We talked
Trump
about-
went to every state, took over their state house, and made an abortion ban.
We talked about this the other day. I mean, some of those laws were written before anybody talking about this were born. Laws from the 1800s. That fucking Trump abortion ban. He's so dirty that he went back in time to ban abortion. Get fucked.
Many with no exceptions, even for rape and incest.
Notice she will never name those states.
Oh, of course not.
Thank you, Ragnock. Abortion should not be a primary form of birth control. It should not be a form of birth control. Primary, secondary, omega, doesn't matter. It should not be a form of birth control.
The idea.
And I know this is going to be hard for Democrats to hear. It really shouldn't be a way to control black people having birth. I know. That's not what y'all like to hear. You like to kill all them black babies, but it shouldn't happen. We need to bring in a whole bunch of illegals because we're not making a population to replace itself. Don't forget to kill your baby.
Idea that a woman who survives a crime of a violation to her body should not have the authority to make a decision about what happens to her body next, that is immoral.
Hang on one second. I need to look this up. How many rapes are there in the U.S. each year?
Billions, man.
According to the Uniform Crime Report, the 2018 estimate was 139,380. And if memory serves, in 2018, there was about 600,000 abortions.
It's almost like people are using that for birth control.
Yeah. And remember, that's just the number of rapes. That's not the number of births that are or pregnancies that occur from it.
Yeah, it's going to be a percentage of that.
Kingslayer, thank you. If she's not against the government telling people what they can do with their own bodies, then is she against using your body to buy an automatic firearm without a background check? Look, as I pointed out, none of their I don't believe in the government telling you what to do stands up to any scrutiny if you pay attention at all. Everything that we do with our bodies, Jack.
Unless you have psychic powers that I'm unaware of. Yes.
Yeah.
That is immoral. And Trump's not done. He would ban.
All right, fine. Then you can have an abortion if you were raped. How about that? We'll just say you can have an abortion if you were raped. You have to turn in the rapist. You have to file the police report. And only those can have the abortions. How about that? This is such a bullshit talking point.
Ban abortion nationwide, restrict access to birth control, and put.
I saw a CNN, or no, it was Fox. It was Fox who said Kamala Harris says Donald Trump wants to ban abortion nationwide. And then they gave nothing but quotes from Kamala in their story and not once mentioned that Trump has come out repeatedly and said, no, I would not ban abortion nationwide. I'm not for banning abortion. But Kamala said he said it. Kamala said he's for that. What? That's Fox News, Jack. That's why we tell you guys Fox News is not conservative.
No.
They are still in the tank for Democrats like everyone else. Just because a couple of their people, like Brett Baird, did a decent job questioning this idiot, doesn't mean they're not still on her side. Vice President Aztec Harris, thank you so much. Elect me and you can legally sacrifice every unborn child to Moloch, whether it's yours or not. Proceeds to laugh completely unhinged to no discernible joke for 45 seconds as the loudest cheers of the night break eardrums in a 5-mile radius. Yeah. Don't you love how she did this at night so they could get the sparkling lights behind her?
Oh, of course.
This is so produced. It's so weird to watch. Seriously, I feel like I'm watching the end of Dave or what was the one that Michael Douglas was in?
West Wing?
No. It was a movie.
The one with Sigourney Weaver where they're like in love or whatever.
That's Dave with
Bill
oh,
Pullman. Right?
No, that's what's his name? Shit, it doesn't matter. But that's what American Presidency, thank you. Or American President, yeah. This looks like the end of a Hollywood movie where they're giving the inspirational speech at the end to let you know that they won. Kevin Kline, thank you. That's who it was. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, Bill Pullman, Kevin Kline, whatever.
In Dave, yeah, it was.
IVF treatments at risk and force states to monitor women's pregnancies. Just Google Project 2025.
Google Project 2025 to learn about what Trump is all about, even though even the people who wrote it said he wasn't involved.
Yeah, and he's not affiliated with it in any way, and he has denounced it at least 19 times.
Yeah. Hey, but did he denounce it today, Jack?
Oh, I forgot. Yeah.
Did he do it just now? Because if he's not doing it 24/7, then he hasn't done it.
That's science.
And read the plans for yourself. And look, I think we all know one does not have to abandon their faith or deeply held beliefs to simply agree the government should not be telling her what to do with her body.
When it's in the context of killing a child, yeah, you actually do need to set your faith aside. Pretty certain thou shalt not murder is like one of the big ones.
Yeah, it's in that commandment tablet thing that Moses brought from on high.
Uh-huh.
Not the government. And when Congress passes a bill to restore reproductive freedom nationwide, as President of the United States, I will proudly...
What the fuck was that? Did you see that, Jack?
No.
Oh my, watch when she does this.
As President of the United States.
What is that?
That little knowing smile.
And her head tilted down like she's getting seductive.
Yes, that's her sexy time voice. I'm going to be Madam President, whether you voted for me or not.
That was so cringy. Okay, sorry. Ugh.
I will proudly sign it into law.
Okay, hold on. Get the camera out of the way. Thank you. Do you want them to restore what was their thing? Reproductive rights nationwide? Are you talking about actually what Roe said, or you can kill your baby whenever? Because those are two entirely different sides of that coin.
Shut up, bigot. We're all just floating garbage out here.
Take the partial birth abortion thing. At one time, 48 states had that banned, even with Roe. So you got to be... when they pass the thing to restore reproductive rights, when I'm president, boy, I'm so sexy, I'll sign it. But you need to be more direct about that, because even the people, they love saying, hey, Most people support abortion. Most people support limits on it. Typically, first trimester.
Yeah. Oh, look, your hate facts are showing.
Oh, look how I'm so awesome.
And look, on another subject, politicians have got to stop treating immigration as an issue to scare up votes in an election.
Pot kind of what?
I need y'all to stop pointing out how I've fucked up this thing. Politicians have got to stop telling everybody what Democrats are doing. Keldrick, thank you. Honestly, Trump is impressive. Somehow he's an incompetent retard who doesn't know what he's doing and an all-powerful evil Time Lord emperor who can change reality with a mere thought. I know, he's like a fucking villain in a video game I've played.
Yeah, he is the Janus head. There are two sides of him. One is like the uber genius, ubermensch, and the other one is this like drooling tard that wets himself. It's amazing how he pulls that off.
It really is. And I mean, it goes to how you're not allowed to think bad about people and think they're smart.
Yeah.
Look, I just don't think that this woman is intelligent at all. And it's not because she's a Democrat, although she is a Democrat because she's not intelligent. But you will never see me talking about how she's manipulated markets or anything. She just goes along with what she's told to do. It's why everything about her is stolen from other people, because she doesn't have an original idea, because she's a retard. She was the border czar there, Jack. Sorry. She was put in charge of making sure that we talk to the triangle and do stuff.
We wanted to understand why they were the way they are.
Politicians need to stop pointing out the problems with Democrat policies on immigration. All right.
Just
so
give us amnesty.
And instead, treat it as the serious challenge that it is that we must finally come together to solve.
Kick them out. There, I solved it for you.
Oh, not that solution, monkey.
Oh, shit.
I will work with Democrats and Republicans to sign into law the border security bill that Donald Trump killed.
The one that lets in minimum just under 2 million people every year with the border closed.
Yeah, that one.
How does that take care of the problem with illegal immigration by allowing that? Literally mandating it.
It makes people stop talking about it because the press will ignore it.
The way we stop illegal immigration is by mandating it.
Yeah, then it's a feature, not a bug.
When I was Attorney General of a border state, I saw the chaos and violence caused by transnational criminal organizations that I took on.
You're not suggesting illegals cause crime, do you?
What?
When I am president, we will quickly remove those who arrive here unlawfully, prosecute the cartels, and give Border Patrol.
Wait a second.
When I am president, we will quickly remove those who arrive here unlawfully.
The bill you just said you were going to sign into law quickly just processes them into the country.
Yes. That's why they're going after the illegal ones, monkey, not the ones that actually just fill out the form.
Fair enough.
Quickly remove those who arrive here unlawfully, prosecute the cartels, and give.
I'm all for prosecuting the cartels. Don't get me wrong on that. But what the fuck does that have to do with illegal immigration?
Yeah, well, look, a bird.
Literally, the Mexican government was telling their people how to come here illegally and what to do when they first got here. It wasn't the fucking cartels doing it.
Well, it could be argued that the Mexican government is run by the cartels.
Fair enough, but it was their official government. Are we going to go after the Mexican government?
I'm okay with that.
Give Border Patrol the support they so desperately need.
How about let them do their job as border patrol instead of being a concierge to illegals?
What?
At the same time, we must acknowledge we are a nation of immigrants.
We're not a
we're-
nation of immigrants.
We're a nation of settlers. And
Even
conquerors.
even taking there, we're a nation of immigrants. We are so far removed from when that was true. How many people do you know who weren't born in the United States?
Oh, it's not many.
The overwhelming majority of us were born and raised right here. We were a nation of immigrants. We're not anymore.
And I will work with
She's not even a fucking immigrant. I hate these people. I hate them so much.
Congress to pass immigration reform, including an earned path to citizenship for hardworking immigrants like farm workers and our dreamers.
No, the dreamers need to go home too.
I
Those
will
parasites have been leeching off us for decades.
I'm going to kick out the people who come here legally. I'm going to give a pathway to citizenship to all these illegals. I am against a pathway to citizenship for illegals, and that includes once we send them home. They should never be allowed back.
They should never allowed to be citizens ever.
Yep. The one exception being Elon Musk.
Yeah, that's we can make a handful of exceptions, like 2 exceptions a year. How about that?
This is such fucking nonsense. The people who come here and are siphoning off our system, using our resources because their own country sucks, and instead of fixing that, they're going to come ruin mine.
Mhm.
Fuck them. Get them out. By the way, there shouldn't even be any dreamers anymore. For those of you who remember when the whole dreamer thing came up, there was a very specific list of when you could come into this country and be a dreamer and be fine. And that was part of the selling point. Nobody comes in after this date will be eligible for this program until we change that date.
Yeah, until we move the year on it. Yeah.
Yeah. Because by this point, I mean, that's Obama back in what, 2009-ish, where he's
Something like
talking
that.
about it.
Yeah.
And that was part of the selling point.
Well,
Like,
the
this-
Dreamers thing, they've been talking about them for a long time. But yeah, Obama actually tried to set some loose ground rules that were meant to be
Yeah.
broken.
It's where the whole thing of dreamers came to be as part of, it's not law, ignoring the law.
Yeah.
The dreamers nonsense where it's just like, we're not going to kick out the people who came here with their parents. There was a set date, and the set date was so that you guys know we're not encouraging these illegals to come over so that they can claim to be dreamers and benefit from the dreamer program. This is the hard line in the sand, just like the one we gave Bashir al fuck his name, the dude from Syria.
Yeah.
His name. I go to say his name and I remembered his first name in the end of Al-Assad is his name, but my brain went, nah, can't have that one. I love when my brain does that.
Commander-in-Chief, I will make sure America has the strongest, most lethal fighting force in the world.
How?
They'll have them practice killing those garbage floaters.
We'll have a bunch of dudes in dresses.
Donald Trump, on the other hand, has shown his contempt for our nation's heroes.
You mean when he funded the VA and strengthened the military, got them new equipment and shit they hadn't had in years, that kind of stuff?
Yep.
Brought him home from Forever Wars.
Yeah, like a monster.
Fucking cocksucker. He hates the military.
Yeah.
calls them suckers and losers,
Bullshit.
called a 4-star Marine general a, quote, lowlife.
John Milley is a lowlife.
Yeah.
John Milley's a cocksucker.
I will always honor, never denigrate the service and sacrifice of our troops and
Okay, you fucking whore. Did he call Milley's service lowlife? Or did he call Milley a lowlife? I will never denigrate their service. Okay, this is something that people have a hard time separating. I have a lot of respect for the men and women who put on the uniform, Jack.
Yeah.
It doesn't make them all perfect people.
Nope.
It is not a shield against all criticism ever.
And their
Unless you're Black
families.
Rifle Coffee. They hide
And
behind their service all
fulfill
the time.
our sacred obligation to care for them. I will strengthen, not surrender, America's global leadership. And I will stand.
Really? How's that war in Ukraine working out with American leadership going on there?
Yeah, no kidding.
And with our friends, because I know that our alliances keep American people safe and make America stronger and more secure.
Oh, I thought she was going to say great again.
Our oceans keep Americans safe.
Yeah, and the fact that we have Canada to the north of us and illegal land to the south.
Yeah.
We're pretty safe from both of them. I'm not worried about the population of like California invading this country. We would mow them all down.
Our alliances do not keep us safe. They put us in more jeopardy.
Yeah, because now we're obligated to help out.
Yeah. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm not against alliances, Jack, but our friendships keep us safe. Bullshit.
Yeah. Real quick, thank you, Dark Resurrect, for that feminist donation. To be fair, calling Milley a lowlife is generous. I would call him a traitor. I would too. I think he's a traitor, just like Kelly. And thank you, Tyrai. What's that?
So he's a cocksucker.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you, Tyrai. Oh my goodness, Kamala is the Batwoman of presidents. All of those things she's saying already exist, but once she is president, it'll be perfect because she's a woman. Yeah, they got to tailor that desk so it looks like a vagina.
Milley should be tried for treason 100%. Absolutely.
Yeah. There's probably a lot of people that should be tried for treason for what they did to Trump.
Monk says just got on. I'm guessing she's the same shit as always. No, this is an extra special brand of Kamala tonight.
Yeah, it's unique.
This is balls to the wall, Kamala, and we know about the walls in Kamala.
Look, world leaders think that Donald Trump is an easy mark.
That's not true. That's just not true.
No, not even close.
During his Joe Rogan interview, Trump was asked about mistakes he made as president. And unlike Kamala, he could actually name stuff. And one of the things he pointed to was the people that he hired. And he specifically brings up John Bolton. And he goes, but still, you know, anytime I'd meet with leaders and Bolton's there, they were like, oh my God, Trump's going to go to war with us. Whatever he wants. Give him whatever he wants.
Yeah, because Bolton's a warmonger.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole world took advantage of us. That's why NATO started actually paying their dues. That's why Kim Jong-un went, fuck.
That's why Ukraine wasn't invaded.
That's why it's the only time in the last 20 years that the last, 4 presidencies that Putin didn't take any other land?
Yeah, it's amazing what a monster Trump is when it comes to his war thirst.
It's why with the renegotiation of NAFTA, Mexico immediately went, whatever you want, sir. And Canada, well, we're going to stand up to, yeah, whatever you want, sir.
Yeah, exactly.
Get fucked.
Fucking ridiculous. Oh, thank you. Oh, sorry.
That's why China didn't put up with the tariffs in the trade war that Trump easily won.
Yeah, they folded like a card table. It was sad. Thank you, Keldrick. The random hillbillies and rednecks in podunk nowhere keep us safer than Ukraine ever has.
True.
That is just an undeniable fact.
Yeah, I forget which comedian it was, but a British comedian. He's like, you can't invade America because they will kill you. Well, yeah. We don't even need the army for that shit. Everybody's packing.
Yeah, we'll turn it into a game.
Our citizens have more guns than most armies do.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Easy to manipulate with flattery or favor. And you can believe that autocrats like Putin and Kim Jong-un are rooting for him in this election.
Trump called Un fat to his face.
Yeah. Well, it's true. So
it is
you can't
true.
get too mad.
This is a guy who's banned China bans Winnie the Pooh over those things. And Trump has been like, go fuck yourself, little red guy. I'm going to go to a trade war with China with the guy who gets offended at being called Winnie the Pooh. And the entirety of the Democrats and their media allies were like, he's going to cause the whole world to destroy. China won't put up with this shit. And Trump's like, fuck Winnie the Pooh. Putin has literally come out and endorsed you.
Yeah, because he wants to be able to.
I beat you, Tailfin. Yeah, Putin literally. Do you think Putin came out and went, I want Kamala because he's worried about Kamala? Do you think that was just some reverse psychology he was trying to pull there? Let's see. Do you guys remember when before the Russian invasion and Biden, his big talk, if Putin goes in there, we're going to do shit. And I told y'all then, he wasn't going to do fuck all. He was going to put some sanctions and it wouldn't mean shit.
Yep.
Have you seen how much Russians are starving? How downtrodden they all are over there?
Yeah, they're doing pretty well.
They're living a fucking high life.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dark Resurrect, for that feminist $12. Not to mention, we have a lot of Gulf War and War on Terror vets who spent decades learning about IEDs and how to spot them and make them. Well, I never thought about that part of it.
Yeah. Thank you, Frosty Glass. She will never denigrate Americans in uniform. On an unrelated note, her boss just said Trump supporters are garbage. Guess who 61% of veterans support? As for government-funded elder care, I know how they'll make it affordable. It's called MAID. Yeah, they'll just adopt some Canada programs. Be like, sorry, you're not worth the government money. Because they'll be able to do that then.
Monk says,
and I won't put it past them.
Monk says, hold on. Didn't Chinese delegates laugh at Biden reps right after he was in office? Yes.
Yes, and they insulted us to our faces in Alaska, where they said we were racists.
Yep. And they, in the administration, didn't do shit.
Yeah. Well, more specifically, to quote them, they said lacists. But, potato. Thank you, JB. I made fun of Trump. Now I'm declared an enemy combatant in my house will now be strafed by an AC-130 gunship. Was it worth it? Yes, it was. XD.
Thank you so much, Val Potato. Kamala's administration is literally bowing down to China. Trump's won the trade war against them, and her administration went right back to selling America out. True. And thank you, Lever Action. That's what that says. Thank you, Lever Action, for that feminist $12. Not some armies, all armies. Woo. The American people have more guns than any individual army, including the U.S. military. We have more guns than most armies combined. Fair enough. There are more
we got to get those numbers up, guys.
There are more privately owned guns in the United States than there are people.
Yeah,
All
by
people.
a factor of like 3 or 4, depending on what statistic you looked at.
We're even including the babies that Kamala hasn't been able to kill when we're saying more than than there are people.
Right? We got to start arming those babies in utero.
We got enough guns for them, man. Maybe their moms wouldn't kill them if they could shoot back.
That's right. Hey man, I hate to do it to you, but I have to get going here.
Oh,
It's
that's cool, dude.
But thank you guys for all the donations, and thanks for having me on as always, Monk.
Yeah, always a pleasure, my friend. Take care, and talk to you next time.
All right, man. You guys take care. Bye.
Will always uphold our security, advance our national interest, and ensure
Did she just go nationalistic? Our national, that sounds very much like something a certain small mustached man would say. Hang on, Kamala.
security, advance our national interest, and ensure that the United States of America remains, as we must forever be, a champion of liberty around the world.
Hey, Kamala. I don't remember if you commented. What was your stance on the Canadian truckers? Just curious, asking for a friend. Okay, David.
America, we know what Donald Trump has in mind.
Yeah, you just know it. It doesn't matter what he said or done. You just know. Fuck you, whore.
Chaos, more division, and policies that help those at the very top and hurt everyone else.
I just want to remind you that since we've been keeping records, the unemployment for Hispanics was the best it had ever been under Donald Trump. Apparently, all Hispanics are billionaires at the top.
I offer a different path.
Oh, you do?
And I ask for your vote.
No. No.
And here is my pledge to you. I pledge to seek common ground and common sense solutions to
Again, I go back to the abortion issue. You've made it very clear that there can be no common ground there except for your way of thinking. You can't just say, I will seek common ground when you've been like, no, I won't. Nuh-uh, I can't hear you.
make your life better. I am not looking to score political points.
What? I can't wait to hear what she is looking for, but what? You just spent 20 minutes of my time, well, 3 hours of my time, but if I watch this uninterrupted, by the way, I haven't seen this part of it. I'd stopped watching by now. You spent 20 minutes of our time trying to score political points. It's all you've done this whole fucking speech. My mom sat at her Formica table. Get fucked.
I am looking to make progress.
She's literally doing a political campaign event, right? Yeah.
Score political points. I am looking to make progress.
By scoring political
I pledge
points.
to listen to experts, to those who will be impacted by the decisions I make, and to people who disagree.
Well, which one? The people who will be impacted or the experts? Because those are often at odds with each other. The experts said there wouldn't be any inflation. And many of us impacted were like, bitch, inflation's coming. And you were like, but the experts
Disagree with me. Unlike Donald Trump, I don't believe
wait.
who disagrees will be impacted by the decisions I make. And to people who disagree with me, unlike
What people who disagree with you have you listened to? I'm going to need an example of that. It's not that I don't believe you because you're a lying whore, but I don't believe you because you're a lying whore.
Like Donald Trump, I don't believe people who disagree with me are the enemy.
I can point to instances where Donald Trump literally changed his mind. Donald Trump was originally on board for attacking Iran over the shooting down of the drone that she is so offended that we did not kill people over. And other people stepped in and went, Mr. President, I don't know if that's a good idea. And he was like, well, how many people would die? And they're like, a couple hundred. And he's like, no, never mind. Let's not do that. Michelle Kincaid, thank you so much. Mark Dice just put out a video about this topic, LOL. This is such a one. Clearly, this is produced for some kind of movie thing they want to shoot. This is gonna come to you in movie form at some point. But this is probably the worst public appearance I've seen from her. If you pay attention, if you're looking at propaganda-wise, it's been great for her side because she is, somebody mentioned earlier the phrase preaching to the choir. Yeah, and those people are not going to be critical of anything she says. Anyone who's actually listening for her ideology or trying to get a glimpse of what she's all about, the best you can be doing watching this is scratching your head going, what the fuck is she talking about? She goes from saying Donald Trump's going to send the military after you if you disagree with him to saying we can't have a nation. We got to turn the page on fear. And then immediately goes back into how Donald Trump is going to come after you. Fucking this whore.
He wants to put them in jail. I'll give them a seat at the table.
Wait, who does he want to jail?
People who disagree with me are the enemy. He wants
She's doing
to
it again.
put them in jail. I'll give them a seat at the table.
People, you do realize, hey, Kamala, you might have missed this, but RFK Jr., who was literally running for president against the both of you, has a seat at Donald Trump's table. How does she square this circle? I really don't get it. She can even say, hey, I will sit down with people from across the aisle. Somebody just brought up Liz Cheney. Yeah, Liz Cheney's on my side. Fine. But you can't then go, Donald Trump's going to lock everyone else up. He's going to, God damn it. Dangerous. Yeah, J.D. Vance is probably the greatest example. This is a man who was openly critical of Donald Trump to the point of being a never Trumper at one point. Donald Trump won't listen to anybody who has disagreements with him. All right.
I pledge
You're still going. This bitch won't shut up.
to you to approach my work with the joy and optimism that comes from making a difference in people's lives. And
You don't run a country based on joy and optimism. You base it on logic and reality, you fucking weirdo.
I pledge to be a president for all Americans.
Once again, by her own telling, that means racist people. She's going to be the president for the racists. She's going to be the president for the Nazis. For all Americans. I mean, technically it's true because we only have one president at a time. So if she wins, she will be the president for everybody. But the way she's saying it, she's enthusiastic about being their leader. I want to lead the Nazis. What a fucking weirdo, man. They never think about this shit, though. Why would they? None of their supporters do.
And to always put country above party and self.
You've never done that. You put country above party. You should put your country above the party, honestly. But can you give me one place, Kamala, where you've disagreed with the Democratic establishment? Just one. That's all. Give me one example. I'm willing to learn. I don't speak in hypotheticals.
I love our country with all my heart. And
She almost screwed up there. Did you guys catch that? Here, listen.
I love our country with all.
Somebody in the audience yells, "We love you." And she went to say, "I love you too," which is the normal thing to do when you're on stage and you can hear somebody say that. And she caught herself because she's like, "No, this is supposed to be a serious one. I can't go into my cackle." She hasn't cackled all that much. You guys notice she's only done it like 2 or 3 times. Again, at entirely inappropriate times, but still.
All my heart. And I believe in its promise because I've lived it. I grew up as.
Tell me she's not going to go into a story about how she grew up a poor black child. All right. Oh, I don't know if I can take this.
In its promise.
Uh-huh.
Because I've lived it.
No, you haven't.
I grew up as a child of the civil rights movement. My parents would take me to marches in a stroller where crowds of people of all races, faiths, and walks of life came together to fight for the ideals of freedom and opportunity.
Okay, I just have to pause here because I got to ask you guys. I went and looked because I did not remember a single picture from the civil rights movement, not one where somebody was pushing babies around in strollers. You know, because during the civil rights movement, there was a good chance for violence at these things from the police. And putting your child in that situation is a pretty fucking bad idea. Have you guys seen pictures? I'm not talking about the 2020 riots. I'm talking about the actual civil rights movement back in the 60s. Have you seen a lot of pictures with, you know, strollers? Because I can't find any. And I did go looking. Ragnock, thank you. Joy and optimism, I'd say, or I was essayed by 5 guys, but they are happy. So democratically, they are 5 happy versus my 1 sad. So they won the vote. Indeed. 8 out of 9 people enjoy gang rape. They really don't like that joke. It's funny though. That's what democracy is, man. It's, what is it? The 2 wolves and the sheep voting on what's for dinner. But they never put that much thought into it.
I've lived the promise of America.
Have you?
I saw how
Wait,
hard.
you lived the promise of America by being a child in a stroller. I'm trying to think of the logic of where that even came from. My parents took me to a multicultural civil rights march. I've lived a I really want to meet her speechwriter. I really do.
Hard. Our mother worked to give her daughters the same chances this country gave her. Growing up, I was blessed to have family by blood and family by love, who instilled in me the values of community, compassion, and faith that have always defined our nation at its best. I've lived the promise of America. I've spent my life fighting for the people.
The promise of America is sucking dick to get ahead. It's banging a married dude to get a job. A married old guy. That's the promise of America, guys. Go out there and fuck an old married guy. Jesus Christ. I mean, this would be great if we didn't know her background. Like, oh, yeah, promise of America. But we know how she got her rise. It was by giving other people one.
People who have been hurt and counted out, but never stopped believing that in our country, anything is possible. I've lived the promise of America. And I see.
Here it is. Okay, this is what the closing argument is. Okay, I'm finally getting it. See, this is supposedly her closing argument. The last real thing she's going to say to America with 6 days to go. And this is her new push. I've lived the American dream. Honey, you're not one of us. You're not Joe from Scranton, honey. You're a spoiled rich kid. Jesus fuck.
Promise of America in all of you. In all of you. I see it.
Just mathematically, at least some of those people in that audience right there rape children. But she sees the promise in them. I see the promise in all of you that I will get elected. The promise that you see in them is you getting power. That's it. It's another one of those dumbass phrases that people say, I see the power in you. Fuck off.
I see it in the young people who are voting for the first time, who are determined to live free from gun violence and to protect our planet and to shape the world they inherit. I see it in the women who refuse to accept a future without reproductive freedom.
This feels copied from somewhere. She's building up to the big crescendo. She's listing off all of these things. I see the promise in all of you. This feels stolen from somewhere.
And the men who support them.
So women who are against abortion and the men who support them, you don't see you're going to be president for everyone that agrees with you, unlike Donald Trump.
I see it in Republicans who have never voted for a Democrat before. But
your vice president's families come out in support of Trump. I just want to throw that in there for reasons I can't explain right now.
have put the Constitution of the United States over party.
You literally said earlier that nothing will stop you from doing what you want, which includes the Constitution. Huh.
I've seen it in Americans, different in many respects, but united in our pursuit of freedom, our belief in fairness and decency, and our...
Sweetheart, you do not get to say decency. You got your start fucking a married guy. Oh my God. Being a whore is decent, y'all. Being a whore is decent.
our faith in a better future. America, I know the vast majority of us have so much more in common than what separates us. I know it. And that's why I am in this race, to fight for the people, just like I always have.
Again, a reminder, she kept people locked up after they were supposed to be released from prison. That was her fighting for people. And you can't even argue that she was doing it to protect people. You know, like she kept that criminal behind bars. Because, I mean, we just saw the story, I think yesterday, where she helped get a rapist out of jail in 2 years. That was her fighting for rape victims.
Nearly 250 years ago, America was born when we wrested freedom from a petty tyrant. Across the generations, Americans have preserved that freedom.
You're not talking about an insurrection, are you? This feels like MLK speech. I see the promised land kind of moment. Yeah, but the specifics that she's talking there, there's a very familiar ring to it. That's not the King's speech. Somebody mentioned Obama's speech, and maybe that's one I'm thinking of.
Expanded it, and in so doing, proved to the world that a government of, by, and for the people is strong and can endure. And those who came before us, the patriots at Normandy and Selma, Seneca Falls, and Stonewall. On farmland.
She had to bring up Stonewall, didn't she? Oh my God.
And
did you actually put Normandy and Stonewall in the same fucking sentence, whore? Wow. Wow. Way to diminish what those men gave at Normandy, you fucking whore.
Factory floor.
Stonewall was a Confederate general. That's not what she's talking about. She's talking about the Stonewall riots, the gay thing.
They did not struggle, sacrifice, and lay down their lives only to see us, Seneca Falls and Stonewall, on farmlands and factory floors. They did not struggle, sacrifice, and lay down their lives only to see us cede our fundamental freedoms.
Like the right to bear arms. Fuck, she's such a contradiction.
They didn't do that only to see us submit to the will of another petty tyrant. These
okay. They stood up to a petty tyrant to form the country. If the man you're calling a petty tyrant, Donald Trump, is elected president, should there be a revolution? Because if you're saying no, you're saying that you were okay with dishonoring the people of the Stonewall riots and farmers and the people who gave their lives in Normandy. Huh. All right.
United States of America, we are not a vessel for the schemes of wannabe dictators. The United States of America is the greatest idea humanity ever devised.
Do you include the 3/5 compromise in that? Because that's how it was originally written. I'm just curious. Was that part of the greatest thing ever devised? I support the 3/5 compromise because without it, the United States doesn't become a thing. But it's one of their talking points. So, are you talking about America now or then? Because I need you to be a little bit specific there.
A nation big enough to encompass all our dreams, strong enough to withstand any fracture or fissure between us, and fearless enough to imagine a
Ain't this the whore that say people are in the streets and they need to stay there?
Future of possibilities. So America, let us reach for that future. Let us fight for this beautiful country we love. And in 7 days, we have the power, each of you has the power to turn the page and start writing the next chapter in the most extraordinary story ever told. I thank you all. God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
She couldn't even get through the ending there without smiling at herself for being cheered for. And I know that's a kind of a petty thing to focus on, but it's her personality. She is so goddamn conceited. She's saying, God bless you and God bless America. And she's got to smile for herself while she does it. Christ. That was bad. That was actually, look, again, from the propaganda point of her supporters, it was fine. But the reality is that what she said is nonsensical at best and absolutely retarded at worst. Sure, why not? All right, so we weren't meaning to do the whole Kamala thing, but it was more fun than I've had in many of her things, because that was Kamala on crack right there, man. They didn't let her drink before that one. And the production value, it's up there. I mean, it's well produced. The script was as good as any Hollywood script these days. Nonsensical, contradictory, stupid. But man, good God. And yeah, just the conceit from that woman. Jesus Christ. I shouldn't be able to look at you and call you conceited. Frosted, thank you. To paraphrase a better speech, Trump is a dick, Kamala is a pussy, and Putin is an asshole. Sometimes pussies get so full of shit, they become assholes themselves. If we don't let Trump fuck this asshole, our dicks and our pussies will be all covered in shit. Yeah, that is from the end of Team America. All right, guys, I think we're going to wrap up here. I saw at least 12 or so full buses unloading for that rally. Paid filler? Sure. Look, even when she's had her big A-listers come up to do shit for her, they're bussing people in. We've seen it over and over again. That said, even the polling and stuff, do keep in mind this woman could win. She could be the president, and it'll be a rough 4 years if she is. I don't think it'll destroy America. I'm not one of those. I'm not on the Elon or the Musk train or the Musk train or the Trump train of America can't recover from Kamala. Kamala's power would be limited to the point where we can fix it. It's the beauty of the American system. The real loss there would be what the press got away with and how they'll know that they can do this to us anytime they want to. That'll be the real loss for the American people if this woman wins. Look, she probably would have won an actual primary because she's the vice president and people are stupid. But oh God, I cannot believe she's got a chance. She's this close to the presidency, and not just because Biden could die at any second. Being elected president. Fuck. Get out there and vote, unless you're a retard, in which case I don't care which side you support. Don't do it. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out. Thank you so much for the donations. You guys are awesome. I was planning on doing a game stream right after this. That's going to have to wait a little while, but we will get one done today. So probably on Twitch. I don't know if I'll dual stream it, but we will start, hopefully, if everything goes right, we'll start some Red Dead Redemption today. Love you guys. Take care of yourselves. Thank you for everything. Support, showing up, donations. You guys are awesome. I love you. Take care of yourselves. Bye now. See you next time. I gotta sing because I was dumb enough to start this at the end of my shows.